No countdown today. The set is live. The set is live, and I'm trying to add sideboards to my decks. Oh, welcome everyone. I guess no one's even here yet. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, all right. We need sideboards for this deck. I don't even know exactly what we're playing. I have so many things I want to try from this set. But what do we need in our? So this is a Yashoda roll end step blink deck, which I have no idea if this is going to work. It's like a Panharmonicon style deck. I have no idea if it's actually going to work, but I want to try it because I think Yashoda roll is pretty cool. I don't know if we need the fourth Yashoda roll. It is legendary. Hopefully, I mean, we have up the Beanstalk. We should be able to draw into it by the time we get to 6 mana, I think. What's up, Ishar Donuts? Good to see you, good to see ya. We do need a sideboard, though. We do. These are all decks that I started building before early access, and didn't need a sideboard because it was best of one. But now we need the sideboard. So what do we want on the sideboard of a Temur mid-rangey style deck? We definitely need Ghost Vacuum. The question is, how do we answer the aggro decks? What is our best plan to not die to mice and prowess? I guess a Braid is reasonable. It's not great, but it's something. Brothers at End, perhaps. So much aggro. Hey, what's up, Adwingstein? Good to see ya! What's up, Mecha Fox? Silty Smacker! Welcome, welcome, welcome! I am open to suggestions. If we got suggestions for these decks that we're sideboarding, I am open to ideas. So the plan of this deck is just ramp a bunch, get to your shoulder, and we got tons of, like, cool things to bounce. We got ramp, we got boiler biggers for removal, we got Drepity Cardosaur, we got Urani, we have extra end steps in Chimmel to, like, do double discover shenanigans. Hey, welcome, MS Mall. How are you? It's Final Fantasy Day. Finally, Final Fantasy Day. I was just telling my wife this week, you're the only channel that streams at the exact same time each week. And here we are, like, I'm sorry, Garfield. Yeah, this, I should have announced. Oh, my volume's low? Hang on. Hello. There we go. I had it a little bit turned down. I started my new job today. Congratulations, Labrador. I hope you love it. Yeah, I delayed the start today because I figured we'd want to play with the new cards. I figured it'd be more fun. Are there any good Final Fantasy cards for this deck, for the sideboard? I feel like I'm missing something. Graveyard hate, aggro hate, control hate. Una. We don't even have the colors for Una, though. I don't know if I want to add a whole nother Fire Magic. Is Fire Magic worth it? 1 damage. I'm very skeptical of this card. I'm very skeptical. We can try it, though. Let's try it. How are we going to know until we try it? Let's try a couple. We're playing best of 3. Best of 3 today. Wait, is my volume still low? Or is the volume better now? Hopefully it's better now. Yeah. Pixie's on the downswing, but a Bailoff or 2 seems fine, and it works with the blink plan. Are there any super cool end step shenanigans? That was the hardest thing. Like, there's lots of good blink targets. I couldn't find a ton. Like, I guess it removes 2 impending counters on the overlords, which is kind of cute, but I found a lot of blink stuff. I did not find nearly as much end step shenanigan stuff. Oh, I can give you all the... Actually, I didn't update the deck command. So, if you would like all the deck lists... Yeah, Yasholta gives us... So Yasholta, the card we're kind of build around. At the beginning of our end step, exile target creature you control. Return to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it's your first end step, there's an additional end step. So essentially, we get to blink things twice, and we double trigger any end step stuff. Like, Chimmel's going to discover 2 twice rather than once. Remove 2 impending counters rather than 1. Played mono white Minwu deck last night. In Commander, I was gaining like 30 life at 2. Yeah, I think Minwu is like a really good Soul Sister commander. You can play the guy that taps and copies... Oh, Go-Go. Is Go-Go worth it? Maybe. Oh, when would I bring Go-Go in? I don't know when I'd ever bring it in, but... Actually, I kind of want another counter. We only have 2 negates. Do we just want another negate? Maybe a Spell Pierce. Let's play 1 Spell Pierce. Hello, Jundinator. How are you? I put together a non-budget version of your Black Mages deck that includes some white for extra card draw, and the new Elspeth need to make 5 cuts. What would you replace? Ooh, 5 cuts from an updated Wizard deck. So I love Inevitable Defeat. My first thought would be it might be a little slow for the deck. Might be a little slow. Circle of Power you could trim one of, probably. I feel like Circle of Power is kind of clunky just because it's also kind of expensive at 4 mana. It's like 1 more mana than you really want it to be. I was hoping the life gain would make up for that, but the life gain... Ooh, Songcrafter is spicy. I have to look and see if we have enough spells. How are you, Stone Rain? Good to see you, good to see you. What's up, Nuka buddy? Hello, it's the best day. Release day, the best day. Yeah, I probably cut like a Circle of Power. I was thinking the life gain might make up for its expensiveness, but it was inconsistent. So I'd probably just trim, I guess. I'd probably go like down a Circle. You can go down a Crustacean Mage. Maybe like I don't know. Probably you could go 6 card draw spells, go down like a Highway Robbery or Ren's Resolve, maybe something like that. Just a little trimming. Hey, Seth, they bought a play booster box of Final Fantasy. Got a Effie Vivi. Traded immediately for full value before the price drops. Hey, that's a good box. That's a good. Hey, how was pre-release for everyone? Here are the other decks that I've been messing around with. Also need sideboard. So Boros equipment, of course, with Cloud. We didn't play any equipment on. I honestly feel, and I didn't want to put you all through this, but I feel like maybe some sort of Boros Cloud Cutter deck could actually be good, but I don't want to just build a Cutter deck because I'm so sick of red aggro. But I feel like that's probably like the best use of Cloud, right? You play Cloud, you play 4 Cutters, you Cloud on turn 2 gets Cutter, turn 3 you can Cutter plus a 1-drop to trigger it, start doing the Cutter stuff. There's probably some sort of Boros Cutter deck that could be decent. I don't know if I would feel good about creating it. Even if we win, are we really winning or are we becoming part of the problem? The news about FF not being printed more is scary. I keep hearing mixed things. On that. On one hand, there's distributors saying we don't think we're going to get boxes till like Q4, so like this fall sometime. Then someone from WotC said, oh, we're hoping to have a restock or expecting to have a restock in July sometime. And then some distributors were like, oh, I heard that too. Or some vendors were like, oh, I heard that too. Then others were like, no, that's not what my distributor is telling me. So I have no idea, except, yeah, it is scary that the supply looks like it might be an issue. Dog of Myth for the 73rd month, and Christoph for the 27th month. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Corey Steelcutter isn't that good of a card. It just takes advantage of stock up. I would say that if it wasn't for the fact it was also creating new decks in Modern and in Pioneer, then maybe I would be like, okay, but the fact that it just immediately created tier decks all the way back to Modern at least, and I guess even Legacy now, but the fact that it's seen play across so many formats, it makes me think that it's actually just a messed up card and not just a standard thing or a standard card pool thing. Anyway, let's do some Yashuda rolling. Yashuda rolling. We can add sideboards to these other decks in the future. I wanna start with this Yasholda deck because this is my kind of deck. Panharmonicons, double triggering, dirtling, probably the absolute worst thing to be doing in this standard, but got Fang and Vanilla in the same sealed pool. Going to try for the Meldwin. Ooh, I had that on my list for potential against odds decks. I don't know if it's interesting enough, but Meld, there's not that many Melds, so maybe it's just unique enough. Went undefeated pre-release, made a Sultai Graveyard deck, and I learned Memories Returning is real good. Memories Returning does seem good to me. Can you fix the printing of your planes? It's throwing me off. Wait, we don't even have a planes. Oh, I feel like it's a why does it do this? Oh, I think it's a favorite thing. I see. There we go. We'll switch it to keep it even. There we go. It's fixed. Final Fantasy's out. The patch is live. So yeah, do some raining. Let's do our reminders, and then we're gonna start with this Yasholda deck and see if we have any luck. Replay YouTube, that's for all the old streams. Normal YouTube, Final Fantasy content, all that stuff going on. Make sure to check it out. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Even get a goldfish sticker. Let them know you want one. Anyway, oh yeah, pre-release. Another pre-release question. How much did it cost? And did it end up being sold out? I've heard so many mixed things from people. A lot of people said their pre-release was like 40, 50 bucks. 45 to 50 was the most common. But then some people are like, I had to pay 80 bucks for my pre-release or things like that. What do you think the best target in Final Fantasy would be for Doppelgang? Ooh. I mean, that's a good question. The big turtle that soaks up all the damage would be funny. It doesn't have an ETB, but like, how do you ever die? I think the big turtle would be pretty cool. It's tough because so many of the creatures are legendary that it's really like big turtle's good. The big summons, I guess, are probably absurd. Like if you make a bunch of Bahamut's, you're gonna blow up a bunch of stuff. Or if you make a bunch of summon knights of the round, you're gonna make a ton of knights. Those are the ones that immediately stick out. Otherwise, a lot of it's just legends, which doesn't exactly sin. You have to have a really good ETB trigger or death trigger to make it worth copying a legend a bunch of times with Doppelgang. So I guess I guess something like Sin, even though it's legendary, would be funny. If you could just like get a big graveyard, copy Sin a bunch of times, see what happens. I'm intrigued by Sin. I don't know what to do with it other than like just play it for value and reanimate it. I was trying to think, could I make a Sin deck where I like only got lands in my graveyard, and then when you sin, you get like 10 lands into play or something. That'd be cool. I don't know how to actually make that happen. It seems very hard to get set up, but those are the ones that stick out, like the summons and the big turtle. But honestly, I would say not the best Doppelgang set. I think it's kind of a mid Doppelgang set. If you Doppelgang Seth, yeah, I mean, that would work. Just legend rule a bunch of times. That's the kind of death trigger that you could actually take advantage of it being legendary. Yeah, with Paranasian and Turtle, there's there would Turtle and Angel of Angel of Eternal, Herald of Eternal Glory, Herald of Eternal Dawn. There we go, we got there. Guess number 5, we remembered the card name that we played a couple months ago. The only thing I would say about Turtle, with the Paranasian plan in specific, is it better than Angel? Is it better than playing Herald? I guess you just play both of them and have redundancy pretty much. What would a Saffron Olive MTG card look like? Belthor, probably. Something like Belthor. Let me see. I think Belthor, yeah, look at this dude. look at that beard. I just want that beard. I think that might be my favorite beard on a Magic card. That is a killer beard. And it's even like the rest of the art's so dark, it just focuses in on the glorious beard. Hey, Seth, would you take a look at this deck? I think it's interesting take on the commander. Ooh, some Tella action, eh? Yeah, Tella seems fun. Kind of a spell slingery, big spell slingery Tella. What's the gimmick? So definitely cast a bunch of spells. I think the sack stuff is cool. Goblin Bombardment's Impact Tremor. So kind of like an aristocrat-y, equipment-y. That's a lot of artifacts. Equipment wait. Interesting. I guess that is an interesting take. I had not considered trying to play Tella with equipment, but that is a cool idea. Monogreed Stompy and Labrador, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big tip, thank you. Ooh. Would you consider making a stream regarding building your commander deck for the show? That would let chat participate. I mean, I've thought about doing more brewing streams. That could be fun. I hadn't really considered that, but that actually sounds like it could be sweet. If that's something people are interested in. I mean, I don't think I do it every week, but it would be something that we could do on occasion. That's a cool idea. I like autism. The living weapon plan is neat. I thought like Furion was my first thought for living weapon, because Furion like doubling it up seems so good. Yeah, all right, no red mana, but we're gonna try this. We got the beans. I wonder if they still, yeah, the set's out. It just came out like 15 minutes ago. I wonder if they still have beans on the list of cards that could get banned. I wonder if it's still on the list. Come on, we need a red source. Okay, that is a red source. We're in business. Shimchem R, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you. Well, we're gonna take our or Trump and Carnosaur, I assume. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Would you watch a brewing stream? Some home brewing of mead or sake or something? Ooh, I don't know. I will say, like, Marshall's watchmaking YouTube. Marshall's watchmaking YouTube made me realize that even if it's something that I personally don't care about that much, like, if the content's good and the host is interesting, I can actually really enjoy it. Because I was, like, mesmerized by watching Marshall, like, fix an old watch. And I am not a watch guy. I don't believe in watches at all. I don't... Disfigure to... What? Win the shame scoop. You know that was a shame scoop. You know that was a shame scoop because we're still at 20 life. Our opponent was in fine shape that... Our opponent was in fine shape that game. Yeah, I feel like Marshall, his watch channel, I think he gets more views than his match. I was blown away that he has videos on there that have like hundreds of thousands and millions of views. Like, people really like the watch stuff. Yeah, that was the shame scoop. So our opponent appears to be Golgari Scoops. What do we want against Golgari mid-range? We didn't pack much specifically for Golgari. This actually might just be an okay matchup. Like, let's just ram into big stuff. Let's run it back. Oh, he has a million subscribers on there? That's ridiculous. Yeah, Marshall's a cool guy. I like Marshall. I didn't know, it was a couple years ago I found out about his watch channel, but it caught me by surprise when I first saw it, and I figured not something I care. I just don't care about watches. Why would I watch someone fix a watch when I don't care about watches? But it was actually, like, just very interesting, and Marshall's got a good voice, like, a good presenter voice. Oh, speaking of Vegas, Ultimate Weapon shoot up 200. I would say, let me see. I would not put much weight in price movement right now. It's just everything's so wonky. Ultimate Weapon. Let me look up. Is it Ultimate Weapon? Oh, so I think it might partly just be starter kit stuff because this doesn't come in the set proper. And I'm not sure how many starter kits are out there. It's not for standard as far as I know. I'm thinking it's probably just a product of being a starter kit card. Where are the rest of these? Huh, why is that one so much more expensive? I don't even know then. Yeah, I mean, I'm imagining it's just people putting it in some, like, cloud style commander decks, looks like. But yeah, that seems unlikely to be a standard card. What if you did a watch party for some Pro Tours or SCG events? Ooh, that could be fun. I remember a long time ago, if you go way back, I don't know, how many of you remember Chaz? All right, well, we'll see how many old timers we have in here. How many remember Chaz? That's like the earliest days of the podcast in Goldfish content. But anyway, when we first started doing the podcast with Chaz, we did some, like, during Pro Tours, we'd kind of like podcast and watch and like talk. So something like that could be fun. It would be fun to do. It won't be this Pro Tour because I'm going to be in Vegas for this Pro Tour. Yeah, it's going way back. Chaz and Jake, the two lost members from, wow, I think our opponent shame scooped. They might have just shame scooped right out of arena. We have successfully crushed the hopes and dreams of a new player. Elisner in the Mega Magic Carp. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription. Thank you. My girlfriend told me to stop impersonating a flamingo, so I had to put my foot down. Oh, Mega Magic Carp. Coming in strong with the dad jokes. It's a hoax. Wait, what's a hoax? I don't know what to think about when they're going to be restocking Final Fantasy. The fact that they have not restocked Foundations and Tarkir Dragonstorm makes me think that something's going on for sure. We had a vendor yesterday come out and say no restock until Q4, which would be like in the fall sometime or winter. Then someone from Wizards who I didn't know posted somewhere saying, we're expecting a restock in July, but check with your distributors. And then some vendors were like, my distributor is saying it's going to be Q4. Others were like, they're telling me it might be July. I don't know what to think. I will say that they should. My guess is that they are literally just not enough printing capacity. If you don't know how Wizards prints cards, they don't actually own their printers. I know some games at least, they do the whole thing, right? They make the cards, they print the cards, they sell the cards. Wizards designs the cards, but they have printers that are third-party contractors, essentially. I actually don't know, like, if a set is a banger, like Final Fantasy, and it just sells way more than Wizards could have ever guessed, is there enough capacity for them to just be like, all right, printing factory, like, print me a bunch more Final Fantasy? When they are printing other games, they're printing Edge of Eternities and Spider-Man. It's interesting. I think the biggest takeaway is Wizards really needs to print. They really need to print more cards. Well, technically, that's a win. Not the most satisfying win, but it is a win on paper. Hope Estium double mill with double end steps with an Esper Shell. Ooh. So we need life gain. We need life gain end step shenanigans. That does sound spicy. Ooh, all right, we're going to keep this. If we hit a land, we get to the Overlord. I feel like Ureni with Yasholta is probably kind of unbeatable if we can get to 8 mana. Want to know? Already want to know. Well, that's it. Thundering Falls, go. Yeah. All right, we're gonna keep it. I would rather have a green source, but I don't think we can just pitch a land. Oh boy. Here comes the red decks. Smell it. Finagle Firebrand getting in, hitting us. So a standard saved. It might be on the 30th. Let's play Verge past the turn. We've played a match of this standard. My expectation is that Final Fantasy is not going to shake up the format to the extent, that it's saved or feels like significantly different than it does right now. But I do think that the yearly ban list update will hopefully, I'm really thinking that's gonna take care of it, hopefully. I don't know why I have faith in Wizards this time, but for some reason I have faith that Wizards is actually gonna ban some stuff. The 30th is the yearly ban list update for... Well, I guess we're going to kill a 1/1 with a Carnosaur. Does not feel great, but better do nothing. That's a yearly ban list update for Standard. Our once-a-year time when we can actually... Oh, they're playing Monstrous Rage, too. Our once-a-year window to actually ban cards. Boiler Biggles. All right, well, we will pass the turn. Keep on Carnosaur. We need a green source. My top 3 would be Rage, Cutter, Manifold Mouse. Rage, Cutter, Manifold Mouse. And then the next tier of stuff that, if Wizards is like, I'm afraid this is going to get too good after the bannings, that would be like Beans, maybe this town. I think, actually, the sneaky card that is not talked about nearly enough, but I think should be talked about way more, is actually just Stock Up. Stock Up is in, yeah, Beans is in the second tier. I think Red Aggro is the first tier, and then Beans is in the second tier.
Seth, would you enjoy seeing a custom card I cooked up of you?
Ooh, a custom card of me? I would love to see a custom card of me. We have a new donation from Lucid with a $3 donation. Yes, Lucid, show me the card. I would love to see it. We're down to 3. Aw. How do we avoid death? I mean, I guess we can just Boiler Biggles. All right, yeah, let's full price this Boiler Biggles. The problem is we're in Bolt range, and our opponent seems to be a burn deck, and 3 is not a lot of life, but we're not all the way dead yet. Missing that green source for so long really slowed us down. Opponent tanks for a while. Cast the obviously lethal Lightning Strike. Well, let me see. Let's see this custom card. Let's see. Hey! Saffron, Defiler of Odds. I like the name. Green, and a Is It Hybrid for a 0/2. When it enters, draws a card. I'm also Homunculus. So play a red or a green, counter target triggered ability you control. If you do, target land becomes a mountain. That is a very interesting ability. And then pay for tap it. Search a library for a card named Sea Shrino. Put it on the battlefield tapped shuffle. I love it. I would. The first ability is very intriguing. It's got a little Blood Moon reference, but I really like just how interesting countering your own ability is. And then the last ability, you gotta have a Siege Rhino on there. that is perfect, Lucid. That is perfect. Thank you. Wait, how do we want to sideboard against aggro? I mean, all right, Fire Magic. Let's see if Fire Magic is actually playable. I'm actually kind of skeptical of Fire Magic. I feel like Fire Magic, 3 mana for 2 damage to everything is just so much. And then 6 mana for 3 damage to everything is like an insanely big amount. Also, we have Sandwich Guy. Sandwich Tribal. Dude doing normal life things. At least he's like out in the wilderness or something. It's not his garage. I'll give him that. Although, who carries ketchup? Is that ketchup? Who goes out into the middle of nowhere, pitches a tent in the mountains, and happens to bring along those bottles of ketchup, Worcester sauce, whatever it is, barbecue sauce? I don't understand. Is he just backpacking around a bunch of condiments? We need to trim a couple cards, which should be expensive cards. We'll go down Ireni. We'll go down the Virtue and Knowledge, sadly. 11 seconds. Go down one Yasholta, sadly, and how about Blam? Right like that. Worcester. Nesmith, welcome to the Fishbowl. Oh, this set is standard legal, all right. Final Fantasy Standard is here. Oh, is he actually a chef in the game? Well, that would explain carry around the hot sauce. Like, if that's your job. Oh, I see. So everyone else, like Cloud and Sephiroth, they're fighting and he just cooks for them? Okay. Hey, it's probably a good life, actually. Menno VHS, welcome to the Fishbowl. And hello to you. Thank you for your subscription. Welcome. Are you hot sauce eaters? See, I know we've talked about my weird eating in the past. I know there. Oh, he fights. Does he throw a sandwich at him? He dumps some Worcester sauce in their eyes. I will flavor you. You better back off. I will season you. But I know we've talked about my weird eating habits. How do y'all feel about sauces, condiments? I gotta say, I know the no milk on cereal thing. Everyone knows that part's weird. We've talked about that before. What about no sauces of any kind on a sub? It's the same theory. If I ever go order a sub somewhere, I want the meat, I want the cheese, maybe a little lettuce. You got to have, a little green in there so you look like an adult. So you add those things. But when it comes to like mayos or mustards or, it makes it soggy. Mayo makes it soggy. It makes it soggy. And you don't want a soggy sub. You want the crispness of the bread. Oh, high five, Terrence, am I? For hating milk on cereal. I'm glad I'm not the only one. See, there you go, dog. See, yeah, you can't. Oh, salt and pepper. I love salt and pepper. Salt and pepper is good. It doesn't make salt and pepper don't make things soggy though. What counts as I mean, if it's a fluid or fluid adjacent, then I think it counts as a sauce. Are we just gonna get another free win? What we're seeing right now is how people get 6 wins in a row at Platinum Rank or better in best of 3 and get published on Magic.gg. This has got to be it. This has got to be the explanation that you run into multiple opponents in a row who just like shame scoop or give up, and then you get a free win. I do love ketchup. I don't put it on subs, but ketchup I do like. Do I ever get my subs toasted? I do get them toasted, depending on the sub. Like a ham and cheese sub, I wouldn't get that toasted or whatever. Like a turkey and Swiss or whatever. But there's some, like, if you got some chicken on there and, yeah, there's some subs that are good. Jalapenos. I'm not really a pepper person. Don't get me started on vegetables. I put a little lettuce on things because it makes you look like an adult, but beyond that. Oh, I got the email Mega Magic card. I haven't really thought about or dug into the details of it, but I do have it, and I'll get back to you. Would you get a tier 3 sub toasted? Wait, what's a tier 3 sub? Oh. Oh, very good. And, okay, 2-0. 2-0. Pro tier, here we come. What sub would Bear prefer you to get? Bear's not picky. There's only one food that I found that Bear does not enjoy eating. And that one food is hot dogs. And that's because when he was a puppy, I gave him like part of a leftover hot dog. Yeah, I think we broke it. 2-0. 2-0. I gave him part of a leftover hot dog, and for whatever reason, he threw it up. And since then, he will not eat a hot dog. He set it right in front. That boy loves to eat that dog, but he will not eat a hot dog. Mayo on hot. Oh, what about ketchup on eggs? I've heard controversy about ketchup on eggs. I feel like I don't do ketchup on eggs. I used to think like, what a weirdo. But I could kind of see the merits of it. I could kind of see the merits of ketchup on eggs. Ketchup is good. Eggs are good. So together they're like super good, right? Oh, also, since everyone's here, next week, actually the next 2 weeks are going to be a little bit weird stream-wise. Next Tuesday, I'm going to be traveling to Vegas for the Magic Con. The following Tuesday, I'm going to be getting back from Vegas from the Magic Con. So we're probably going to miss the next 2 streams because of the Goldfish trip to Vegas. However, next Monday, I'm doing a stream in the afternoon for a couple hours on the Ultimate Guard channel. So if you're fiending for a stream next week, jump. Oh, this hand actually seems good. This I like. We're on the play. We got beans into Chef Scientera here to better find us a land. To find us a land, and then hopefully we find our big stuff. Wait, syrup on? You mean like maple syrup on pizza? I actually had someone. This was several. Was it even Vegas? I don't know. Was it a magic event? I had someone gift me some maple syrup. They were from Vermont or something, and they gifted me some homegrown maple syrup. Oh, is this Omniscience? Ooh, okay. All right. I don't know. Oh, that's Omniscience in the graveyard. Okay, that's a concern. I feel like Omniscience is also on the watch list for banning. That's in the second tier. I actually just was thinking about this and made a short of this. So my tier list would be this for the yearly ban list updates. Going from the cards I think are most likely to be banned to least likely, I would say the top tier, Monstrous Rage 1, Corey Steelcutter 2, Manifold Mouse 3. So the 3 big red aggro cards, those would be my top 3. Then the next tier, I would have Omniscience or arguably Ablalos Awakening, like something from the Omniscience combo deck, up the Beanstalk. This is the, I'm not expecting them to do this, but I can see arguments for banning these cards tier, and personally, I like banning, so I would be in favor of it. Ooh, what do we can play a Sholta, but that doesn't stop us from just dying. Oh, the chef can save us. It has abilities. I kind of thought that was a throwaway useless ability. Ingus might actually win us this game. I just read the rest of the card. Found it. Gonna bounce the Overlord of the Hauntwoods. It's got another ability on it. Did you realize that Ignis has another ability on it? Let's 1, 2, 3 impend the Overlord. Maybe Ignis. Yeah, reading the card makes this matchup way easier. I want to back up. All right, impend the Overlord. We will pass the turn. Opponent, would you like to try to reanimate your Omniscience? we might actually broke it. Now. Found it. Realizing they can't beat the Scientist, passing the turn. Well, guess what? Omniscience out of there. 3 mana is so much to exile a card, but we will take it. The problem is they can just bounce at end step. They can just bounce at end step and then do it, and that's kind of rough. Well, let's play a Yasholta rule. See what happens. Yasholta time. Draw a card with Up the Beanstalk. Okay, another Yasholta. Let's play the Verge. And pass the turn. I mean, we dealt with the first Omniscience. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, hooray. We can't... I would like to bounce Ingus and ramp, but we need to leave its ability up because we need the graveyard hate. So I guess Yasholta's just going to blink itself. Pass the turn. Yasholta double triggers Overlord, getting closer. This would be so much cooler if we didn't have to leave up Ingus to stop an Omniscience reanimation. Wait, are we gonna beat Omniscience? Is this happening? Is this the world we live in? I might have had the Scientist all wrong. I might have had it all wrong. Opponent. Meringue River Regent. You're gonna bounce the Overlord and the Scientist. Well, let's exile the stock up and bounce the Meringue River Regent. Oh, we might just die next turn, unfortunately. Opponent discards. You're any. Well, let's replay the Scientist. Do a little ramping. Grab a Verge. Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Draw a card, do a little ramping. Make an Everywhere land. Commercial District. Mill the Overlord of the Hauntwoods. I mean, we might as well hit you for 3. Get in with Yasholta. End of turn. Blink the Overlord. I mean, the deck's working. The deck's working. It doesn't mean we don't just die to our opponent reanimating Omniscience here. Because our Ingus is offline, but we got a shot. We got a shot. Roiling Dragonstorm. Yashtola. Let me look at this card name. Yashtola Rahul. Okay. Yashtola Rahul. Okay, I think we're getting there. Are we dead? Oh, this manually tapping scares me. I mean, we have to torch the tower, but... Okay, there's a Blaylo's Awakening. Yeah, so we're probably dead. Inga's almost got there. We can try to torch the tower yet, but this plan never actually works. Like 10% of the time, I think the removal spell plan actually does it. Boom, torch the tower. Do you have a counter? They have been playing less and less counter spells, which means the odds are higher than they used to be. Okay, Meringue River Regent to draw some cards at instant speed. Come on. Moment of Truth to go digging to try to find a counter. They can just play so much at instant speed that it's hard to get there. Splunking could be sweet. I mean, Splunking is good. Opponent mills another Omniscience. Did they find a counter? All right, they bounce the Ingus. They draw with Meringue River Regent. So I imagine this is just, in the end, even if they don't find the counter. Far as Dismersal. Yep. Even if they don't find the counter, they can just reanimate again next turn. And they keep bouncing the Ingus. Meringue River Regent. Sure. About it. Yeah, that's been my experience playing against Omniscience. That, it actually, you'd think, oh, I got a removal spell that does something, but actually in practice, it does not. Is a jump-in event worth it? So I think the jump-in event is worth it, especially if you are like a newer arena player trying to build a collection. I don't typically play it because I just buy all the cards. Good lord, this is obnoxious. Yes, I would agree, Mega Magikarp. This is kind of obnoxious. All right, after all that, our opponent plays 20 spells. The Omniscience is dead for now. They draw a bunch more cards. 24 cards in their deck. And then the third Omniscience will kill us. Yeah, our deck doesn't do anything. Let's Impendent Overlord, draw a card. Let's play Yasholt to draw a card. Those cards don't help us. Let's play an Angus. I mean, our deck's working. It is working. It just doesn't stop Omniscience combo. Well, Blink the Scientist. I mean, Yasholta's felt reasonable. After sideboarding, we get a bunch of counters, which is hopefully helpful. I'll do it again. Grab an island. We got a lot of mana. But you know what's better than having a lot of mana? That would be casting all your spells for free. Yeah, there's no way after our opponent drew their deck last turn that they don't actually have the answer. Yeah, Tyver just wouldn't work in this deck, unfortunately. We have, like, so few creatures that it can actually reanimate. But yeah, being able to activate with haste would be nice here. That would actually be huge. Hey, what's up, White Grim Knight? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. I mean, what do you think, chat? Do you play the jump-in events? What is your opinion of the jump-in events? And there's the Awakening, and we will call it good enough. Sure. All right, well, negates in, spell pierce in, goes vacuums in, go down, torch the tower, scorching shot. Probably an Into the Flood Maw, and maybe one Boiler Biggles. Run it like that. Wait, are the jump-in events not free? Do you have to pay for them? Oh, if you have to pay for them, that makes it a little worse. Pull a neon green traveling chocobo, sold it for $1,200. Ooh. Man, I didn't open a single chocobo in 5 collector booster boxes, and it was so sad. Oh, those boxes were so bad. I think Demon Wall in the right deck has potential. Maybe like an Innkeeper's Talent deck. It's got to be some sort of deck. It's got to be some sort of deck that consistently put a counter on it, but in that context, I think it could be good. I opened some fat chocobo too. I think I even opened a choco, but that still doesn't really count. I mean, if you're doing Demon Wall and Holy Annex, I mean, I guess you can play Rock Curse or Shaka too, but I think Rakshasha is probably better there, right? Well, we're gonna keep this. We got a lot of ramp. Should we get one more land? We have a negate, which could theoretically stop the Omniscience. Well, there's a land. Well, land go. I mean, the Scientist's been good. The Scientist's been good. Opponent. Verge and Roiling Dragon. There's no way we negate this, right? There's no way. That can't be... Yeah. We're going to let it go. Oh, I'll have to look. I didn't even look at my Mastery Pass, but I will have to check, because I'm not sure. Well, get down the Scientist. Grab us a Hedge Maze. I got mentioned in Shuffle Up and Play. I didn't notice that. Hopefully it was in a positive way. I'll have to check it. Found it. Clarion Conqueror. Oh, this is to keep me from active. Wow, they're actually bringing in hate cards. They're actually bringing in hate cards to stop us from activating Ingus. Our opponent is very afraid of the sandwich. Maybe this card's way better than I thought. Maybe this card's actually good. Opponent. A little worried about our omniscience in the graveyard because we also can't activate our Ghost Vacuum, and we took out most of our removal. Opponent. Roiling Dragonstorm. I'm going to draw and discard. I mean, we still have the negate, which could help. But as long as this is out, we can't activate Scientea. Opponent discards Moment of Truth. And passes. Well, I mean, go to combat. Wow, they're going to get lost to Overlord. Okay, sure. Sure. We will not attack. There's no omniscience in the graveyard, right? There's no omniscience. All right, we're going to get down Chimbal. Play a Verge. And you know what? We'll play the Ghost Vacuum. We can't use it yet. Chimbal, spin it to win it into a up the beanstalk. That's fine. That's fine. Once we get Y'shtola, then we get two. Man, if they didn't have this Clearing Conquer, we'd be in such good shape. But yeah, it's not there specifically to shut down the Scientist. It's gotta be to shut down Ghost Vacuum. Actually, a very good sideboard plan, right? Because your impulse against Omniscience is to just take out all your removal, or most of your removal, because it's so bad. And then this thing gets to stick because you took all your removal out. That is a wise sideboard plan. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? Let's just full price this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Draw a card. Fear of missing out. Well, we make an everywhere land. We go to our end step. Shimmel. Spin it to win it. All right, fear missing out. We will accept that. That's something. Pitch the Ghost Vac. I mean, we're in this. We're in this. We're in it. Another land. Meringue River region. The only scary part is they do have the village there to win the counter war. After disfigure and cut down rotate this summer, what do you think the next best 1-mana black removal in standard will be? Do you think we'll get something comparable in Edge of Eternities? So in the current card pool, it's probably the dragon one, although you really need to be a dragon deck for it to be good. What is it? Caustic Exhaustion, maybe? So I think that would be my immediate choice. Although I would not be surprised if there was some sort of replacement. We're in a weird spot with standard, right? Because I actually feel like super efficient cut down removal is in some ways a negative for the format. But then on the other hand, if you don't have those cards, then aggro runs rampant. And aggro's really good right now. So we kind of need Fatal Push. I mean, Fatal Push is not that different than Cut Down, honestly. Do I have this deck? Oh, I gotta export this deck, apparently. I will export it and update it after this match. You can see all the deck lists there. So, in the graveyard, enchantment creature, let's play a Fear Missing Out. Discard a land, draw a card. Play the land. Go to combat. Do some attacking. Untap the Overlord. Build it. Gonna block the Fear Missing Out. Drops to 12. Well, get him with the Overlord. Take 2. Opponent down to 6. Aw. Yeah, let's just Overlord. Let's do it. Overlord number 2, draw a card. You think self-destruct will see you playing red, especially with Screaming Nemesis. I think it's cool with Screaming Nemesis. I wonder, though, if it's better than... Oh, the one we already got, the Fling Creature Opponent. Oh, God. All right. Well, there goes the Shimmel. Untaps. I mean, with no Omniscience in the graveyard, though, I feel like we got a shot still, at least. About it. They might have to play a dragon here and just bounce stuff. Yeah, Meringue River Regent. Gonna do a little bouncing. Gonna pick up the Roiling Dragon Storms. Overlord's gonna go to hand. Yup. And opponent passes. We draw even more Scientists. Now play the land. Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Draw a card. Ooh. Oh, okay, we got it. We gotta do it. There's our removal. We finally found it. Urani. Coming down. The biggest, baddest of the dragons. And that gets rid of the Clarion Conquer, and that makes life so much easier. How much damage? Wow. Okay, that's a lot of damage. Get rid of them both. Oh, actually, we just win. We just win. Fear missing out. Untap the Scientist. We're gonna get the sandwich win. We're gonna get the sandwich win. Okay, maybe this sandwich guy is actually pretty good. I've come around on the Sandwich Scientist. Is a 2-mana instant speed murder too much for current Magic? Or is that the point of power creep that we have reached? Since we saw the sorcery speed one from Bloomborough saw little or no play, my expectation is we will see 2-mana instant speed murder soon. Although I would guess that the first version of it will be black. I think it'll be double black, which was Fel double black? Fel wasn't, right? I think double black, destroy any creature for 2 manas is the most likely. And then eventually we'll get 1 in black. And then eventually it'll be 1 mana. I mean, I honestly think that even 1 black would be fine. Like it's kind of funny. Yes, go for the throat or shoot the sheriff. I guess there's a downside, but really, like, if you look at what C's playing standard. Look at what C's playing standard. How different really is go for the throat from a 2-mana instant speed murder. And if you look at the cards that actually see playing standard, the answer is it already exists, right? Yes, like some tiny percentage of the time you run into some artifact deck, but if you just look at like the commonly played cards, we already have that essentially in Go for the Throw. It doesn't say the exact words, but the way it plays in like a huge percent of the matchups is exactly that. Yeah, I guess that's true. They could give it negative something. I mean, we've already seen -4, right? It wasn't Grasp of Darkness and, oh boy, Scars of Mirrodin, that. So it'd probably have to be more than -4, because I think they've already done that a long time ago. I mean, Bitter Triumph's really good. I do like Bitter Triumph. Maybe we bring in one more. Actually, let's just go Boiler Biggles. Yeah, let's do the Boiler Biggles. Yeah, I think in the modern age, it would probably have to be like -6 or something. It'd have to be a little bit bigger than that. I mean, technically, so far, we haven't lost. We will see if that continues against Omniscience, yeah. Well, let's get down the Ghost Vacuum. Graveyard Heat controlled for now. Opponent land. Well, we're going to play... You know what? Let's just Commercial District. Commercial District, mill the Carnosaur. Pass the turn. Found it. Untaps. Yeah, I think -6, no kicker necessary would be... I would be down with that. Well, let's play the land. Get down, everyone's favorite chef. And Snagga... Actually, we need red, don't we? Actually, I don't think we really care about that. Let's get a Hedge Maze. We can get a mountain with the Fable. Thornspire Verge. Do we want even more lands? Probably not. To the graveyard. Go. I mean, what do y'all think about Final Fantasy Standard? What are you building? What are you most hyped for from this set? About it. Flood Farm Verge. And opponent passing. I think we actually eat the Carnosaur. We don't have a way to get it back from the graveyard, so we might as well eat it. Play the Fabled Passage. Up the Beanstalk. Draw a card. Oh, there's your Shulta. There's your Shulta. Your Shulta. Black Mage's Kuja is super fun. It is super fun. Let's take the Mountain. And we're going to pen the Overlord, draw a card. Fear of missing out. Well, make the everywhere. Get in with the Scientia. Opponent, Cathar Commando. Going to block. And just lets it go. Okay. Untaps. Well, we still got the Ghost Vacuum. We still got the Ghost Vacuum. Oh, well, okay. Wow, opponent's just going to immediately pop the Ghost Vacuum. Well, let's get rid of the Cathar Commando. Huh. Awkward, awkward, awkward. Well, play the Verge. Yeah, I mean, I guess all we can do is go aggro. Overlord of the Boiler Biggles. Draw a card. Not a Ghost Vacuum. Hit ya. Down to 16. Pass the turn. I feel like equipment could have a shot. Roiling Dragonstorm. Are we dead? Opponent draws. The Omniscience deck is getting better and better at answering the hate. Opponent, Moment of Truth. Do they find the Omniscience? Oh, god dang it. God dang it. Actually, wait. Do we win? Do we Ashulta win? Do we Ashulta win? Boiler Biggles? Boiler Biggles Yashulta? Oh, Yashulta rule. Draw a card. 2 end steps. 2 end steps. End of turn. Blink the Boiler Biggles. That's 4 damage. Better than Omniscience? Better than Omniscience? Yashulta rule. Blink it again? Got him. We got him. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Maybe we actually did break it this time. Wow. Boiler Biggles is back and we're ranking up. That was a pretty sweet kill. Like, that was literally the Yashulta rule kill. Like, the 2 end steps and the blinking were both necessary. With the Omniscience in the graveyard, odds of us being dead next turn are pretty high. In some ways, Yashulta is a Panharmonicon, right? It's even a better, it's like Panharmonicon mixed with Conjurer's Closet, plus you get an extra end step. It's kind of wild. You're hearing me butcher all the card names. Welcome to the stream. I figured you would all be used to it by now. You're Stula. Maybe we just do a stream where I just pronounce the cards from Final Fantasy. Maybe that's what we need. Enough with playing Magic. What if we just pronounce some Magic cards? That might be fun. Emmet Selch. Go. See, I can do that one. Cloud. What is Midgar? I don't understand what Midgar is. Is that a place? Is that a place in Final Fantasy? Nibelhelm of Flame. Sephiroth. Fabled Soldier. Summon Bahamut. Bahamut, I think. Chocobo, I know that one. Yashtula rule. It's like a gigantic city. What about this like CD thing? When I see this CD, I'm always wondering, is this supposed to be a reference to like a compact disc, like a CD player? Is it saying it is seedy, like sketchy? Like, whenever I see that, I'm like, why is it written like that? It's just, oh, it's just seed? Oh, I've been saying CD the whole time. I'm telling you, this random capitalization has got to end. It's got to end. Won't someone think of the children? They're going to grow up capitalizing random letters. I'm telling you. CD is an organization that uses child soldier seat. You gotta think of the kids. You gotta think of the children. Oh, the random capitalization, I'm telling you. Chukaku the Chocobo. Okay, it was in the 90s. The 90s are weird. The 90s. I found, speaking of mispronunciations, I don't ever want to hear. Oh, let me see if I can find this. Hang on. I got to show you this video if I can find it. I don't want to hear any more complaints about my mispronunciations because I got your stupid goblin card. Hang on. Let me find the right one. This was a news report on Magic back in like 1994. And it's got Garfield in it and it's so good. The whole thing is, it's so 90s and it's so good. Oh, here it is. Okay, you gotta, it's only like 2 minutes. It's only like 2 minutes. All right, check this out. 1994 Magic public access TV footage. Oh, it's so hilarious. All right, and then we'll get back to the game. I promise. It's for you, Garfield.
But first, one of the greatest game crazes of all time. It's the Magic card.
Last summer, Wizards of the Coast released an innovative trading card game called Magic the Gathering. In the game, each player
it's good. Just wait.
Their own deck of
First, look at those
cards
unsleeved playground Magic on cement. Those cards are gonna that's animate that, I can tell. In a White Knight, beta White Knight.
Decks come with 60 cards, and each player needs at least 40 cards to compete.
Hang on.
When the cards became available, Wizards of the Coast could not have expected the demand and had to go back to press. Their first series of cards have black.
Okay. This is where it gets good.
Have white borders, thereby satisfying the insatiable demand of collectors and fans alike.
First, check out this dude.
Auctions and things have card prices going anywhere from about $6 to $8. Of course, initially with the black border cards, prices were really getting out of hand.
Initially with the black border cards, prices were really getting out of hand.
While going up to $12 to $20.
Going up to 12 to 20. Oh no, $12 to $20.
Actually, I've heard of one person who
and then
for a while going up to $12 to $20 cards. Actually, I've heard of one person who quit his college job.
And there's Garfield.
Brokering magic cards.
But listen to this pronunciation.
The cards depict lands, artifacts, creatures, and spells. Many characters' names were made up for the game.
Hang on.
The original Gathering list, the Gathering, was mostly made-up names. They came from an imaginary world which we call Dominia. And
Dominia.
So we're trying to develop each. As we explore new parts of Dominia, we'll come up with a new set of cards for that area.
Dominia. Richard Garfield. He pronounces Dominaria. Dominia. No, it used to be called that. Wait, they changed the name? Am I the one that's an idiot? Wait, was it originally? It was originally called Dominia? No. Wait, how do I find out more about this? When did they rename Dominia Dominaria? And why? I need to know more about this story. Also, it just cracks me up that they're like, yeah, prices were getting really out of hand. Those black border cards from Alpha, they were from $12 to $20. $12 to $20, and then they were like, the cards have reached $12 to $20. We gotta reprint. We gotta do some reprinting. Reed Grizzly. Wait, is it reference Dominia? All right, let me look up Alpha. Where's Alpha Grizzly Bears? No, I don't know if I believe this. I don't know if I believe it. Let's lead on Thornspire Verge. Grizzly Bears. Don't try to outrun one of Dominia. It does say Dominia. You're right. Okay, you're right. I was thinking that Garfield was mispronouncing it. But no, it was actually Dominia. So when did this change happen? Don't try to outrun one of Dominia. Yeah, you are correct, chat. You are correct. Oh my god, that's a demon wall. There's the demon wall y'all been talking about. That's also, I think, one of the first new cards we've seen today. I mean, I assume if they're playing the demon wall, we should probably kill the demon wall. There's probably bad things happening. That's a good question. Let me see if I can look it up. What is inflation? US inflation by year. Wait, that's not correct. There's got to be a chart that goes back. Inflation calculator. Oh, here we go. Let's see if this works. So something that cost $12 to $20 in 1994 cost what? They're not going to let me do 12 to 20. Oh. Okay, let's go 12. Let's go low end first. Well, let's play this Verge. And let's get down the Scientia. This might be my new favorite card from the set. Ingus has been killing it. I've been very, very impressed with Ingus. Yeah, we'll keep the Verge to get to 6. $26 today was equivalent to $12 in 1994. $20 is the equivalent to 43. So that would be like them saying, so I guess actually I would say that, so prices I would say have went up some, right? I would say prices went up some, but this would be like them saying prices got up to $25 to $40 and we had to reprint things. I guess it's not actually that different, honestly, right? Oh, you pull a neon pink Chocobo? Those Chocobo are so expensive. They're so valuable. Well, that's Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Keep on ramping. See if we can get to Ystula. That land go. What are the planes that we've never been to? Also, I was thinking about this, chat. You remember Arabian Nights? If we're going to do Universes Beyond, what about, like... Oh, some Primal Odin. What about, like, Arabian Nights style Universes Beyond? I think Arabian Nights style Universes Beyond would actually be kind of cool. Like, what if we did a Universes Beyond that was, like... Well, not, like, specifically Arabian Nights, but what if it was... Arabian Days. But what if it was like, I don't know, I don't want to say Shakespeare because I don't even know Shakespeare, but like something like historical like that. Could you do a real world, or is that still off limits, do you think? Could you do a historical? Could you do like Universes Beyond the Renaissance? I don't know. Universes Beyond the Silk Road. Universes Beyond... That'd be kind of interesting. The Mummy. My grandmother loved that movie. I think I watched it once because the Mummy had scarabs in it, right? That's the only thing I remember is it had scarabs in it. And they're kind of creepy. Well, let's do a little trumpeting with our Carnosaur. Wow, all right. Into an Overlord of the Hauntwoods. And that gets, maybe this deck's actually kind of working. We might actually be getting somewhere. Ooh, Monty Python. Yes. Life of Brian. Life of Brian, Monty Python, Universes Beyond, please. See, Three Kingdoms is kind of like that too. But do you think they would ever do that in the modern era of Magic? The Somewhat Primal Odin's a little scary. But we have enough lands now that we should be able to kill it. Because there is a Rogue's Passage in Standard. So they could just theoretically make it unblockable. And that would be bad for us. Oh my god, Yasholta. Okay, chat. I need your vote, chat. The fun thing to do here is play Yasholta. To play Yashtola, I got to pronounce it correctly so you know what I'm talking about. The fun thing to do is play Y'shtola, double blink the Carnosaur, see what happens. If we do this, and they are slow-rolling Rogue's Passage, we literally die. The unfun thing to do is play Ureni, at which point our opponent most likely scoops. And then we never get to see Y'shtola blink the Carnosaur a bunch of times. Kill Odin? All right. Wait, does this... Oh! Oh, this is actually way funnier. This is way funnier. What if we Ice Flan it? Stun counters are actually hilariously good against summon creatures because they go away on their own. So if you stun them for a turn, like flanning them, it is essentially the same as killing them, opponent. Unholy Annex, sure. And then we play Y'shtola in the Y'shtola and just keep on stunning, stun everything. When a Boiler Biggles, an opponent cannot beat the Ice Flan. Cannot beat the flan. What is a flan? This set's so weird to me. We also got a Balam. How do you say that one? Balam? Balam? Defeat. Yeah, it got flaned. Get flaned. I don't even know what a flaned is, but we got him. You know what we're missing in our sideboard? Enchantment removal. We don't have any enchantment removal. And we're in the colors that can remove enchantments. We need to add maybe Heritage Reclamation after this game. I'm leaning towards Heritage Reclamation. Yeah, this deck's kind of crushing people somehow. It doesn't really seem like it should be crushing people, but it is. It is. Y'shtola rule. Best Final Fantasy card in the set. Scorching Shot came in during Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Aw. What do we cut, though? We got to cut something. We can't cut the Scientist. That's our best card. The correct one is probably the Panner. Oh, we don't really... Yeah, all right. We'll go down the Virtue and Knowledge. Balam. Does Square Enix or whatever it is, do they publish... Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, all of the... Oh, all right, we're going to try this. All of the Through the Ages cards do come to Arena for the first time, which is kind of exciting. Oh, I don't think we need the T-Rex at the moment. That is the first time Cryptic is on Arena, isn't it? Well... Play the land, up the beanstalk, draw a card. Seymour is such a funny name. Whenever I hear the name Seymour, it just reminds me of bad Simpsons jokes. Like the crank calls. Wait, so did they put all of these on Arena? That's actually some big stuff if all of those are on Arena. Yeah, Urza's huge. We've never had partners on Arena before. Oh, do we have to kill the Liliana? They discard a Summel Primal Odin. Now let's play the Thundering Falls. See what's on top. River Pyre Verge to the graveyard. Yeah. I mean, this isn't great, but this Liliana is an annoyance. So we're going to double torch the tower. Get rid of the Liliana. Amanda? Seymour? Oh, so 90s. So what are the new ones we got here? I hadn't really thought about that. Ristic Study was already there. Was Ancient Copper Dragon on Arena? I'm not sure Ancient Copper Dragon was on Arena. Because that was a set they did like the weird remix stuff of. Bloodlord of Aklazatse. Okay, that's a concern. Up the Beanstalk. Draw a Scorching Shot, a Chimele. Well, let's Fabled Passage. Crack the Fabled Passage. I think death might be coming. Death might be coming. Fear missing out. Discard the Urani, unfortunately. Into another FOMO. Pass the turn. Yeah, Ancient Copper Dragon is ridiculously expensive. Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like Ancient Copper Dragon was not on Arena in its proper form. Nagila's new to Arena. Thraxios, yeah, the commanders. Ooh, we might have to do a Brawl video. Urza's new, Vile's new. There's some good teaching Arena Zoomers options here. Carpet of Flowers is kind of busted. Cryptic's new. Oh, this is actually kind of an insane Brawl set, isn't it? That's Enola? Enola's on Arena for the first time? Oh, Brawl's about to get wild. I mean, Brawl could use it, because everyone just plays that silly indestructible commander that that is not even that good or that interesting, but boy, do people love Codis. Oh, that's awkward. Well, are we dead? So this hits us for 4, this hits us for 4. I guess we're not dead on board. Enchantment removal would have been helpful. The rarity of cards like Counterspell and Lightning Bolt are one of the worst parts of Arena. My God. I'm glad it's finally down to uncommon, but it is a travesty that we had to pay rare wild cards for Lightning Bolt. Okay, we're dead. It's a travesty that we had to play rare wild cards for cards like that. It's just ridiculous. So explain Codis to Brawl to me, chat, because all I hear about is people saying Codis is everywhere in Brawl. It's everywhere in Brawl. I don't even know if I'm playing Brawl anymore because there's so much Codis. I don't want to play against it. Is Codis actually like problematic? Is it actually like a problematic card? Yeah, Carpet of Flowers is big. Tons of cool commanders. Godo. Oh, we have Helm of the Host, too. We'll have to do a Godo Helm of the Host video. We can play that in, like, Historic. It probably won't be good. Actually, wait. Maybe it would be good. Could it be good? It could actually be good. Carrick is kind of insane. Oh, the commanders in here are actually a really big deal for Arena. Like, some of the most powerful commanders in all of Commander coming to Arena for the first time. Eureka! Oh, that is kind of wild. Brawl's gonna get exciting. Yeah, I'm not sure how partner works on Arena. We did have Primetime before. Primetime we got in like an anthology maybe a year ago or something. Because there's like a Primetime Nature's Lore could see play. There's like a Primetime Field of the Dead deck that exists. We definitely want some enchantment removal. I guess we could bring in... Huh. You know what? We're just going to run it back. We're going to run it back. I assume partners should work. Yeah, I don't know why people hate Codis so much. It just doesn't seem... It doesn't seem that bad to me. Well, into the Flood Maw. There's our enchantment removal. Sorry, Boiler Biggles. Found it. Shadowy Backstreet. Oh boy. Okay, we desperately need an untapped green source. Found it. Swamp and Collector's Vault. All right. And we draw untapped green source. Actually, we do draw an untapped green source. That is kind of perfect. Well, let's impend the Overlord. All right, let's just keep hitting our lands. Get up to your Stola. But what is the plate? Like, how do people actually make it work? Like, what are they loading it up with equipment? Like, what are they doing? Because when I see Codis, I see this, like, 4 mana 1/2, and I'm like, what is that even? That is a land. And I'm like, what is it even doing? Like, it's just a 1/2, but the Voltron-y play style is, yeah, I could see that. Especially with Brawl being kind of like the casual, awkward time for the tap land. With Brawl being kind of the casual format on Arena, do we want a Carnosaur? Actually, you know what? I don't even think we want the Carnosaur. Pass the turn. I mean, we knew some double bouncing into Chimmel next turn. Well, unimpend the Overlord opponent. Gonna loot with the Collector's Vault. Discards another Demon Wall. So our opponents, we'll see. Let's see if this Demon Wall plan is actually good. They're on the Demon Wall and Holy Annex plan. Rot Cursed Rakshasa. And opponent. Passing. Well, okay, let's... Let's bounce the wall to slow things down just a little bit. Untap. Another Y'shtola. Well, let's play the Schimmel. And spin it to win it, spin it to win it. End step. Schimmel into a Fear Missing Out. Okay. That's fine. That's a body. We will take it. Yeah. Mana Drain is the kind of card that is not that fun for most people in Brawl. I could see an argument for it. Has anyone played any Timeless recently? I feel like Timeless for me, there was a time when that was the format I was playing the most, and I haven't played Timeless in a while now. Although, if you're an old timer and you want some exciting news, you know what I played 2 days ago, yesterday, sometime recently? I actually played Modern, and I actually had a lot of fun playing Modern. There's a Modern video on its way. Modern video's coming. Found it. Coiling Rebirth on Summon Primal Odin. Gonna blow up our board. Gets in for 5. And that probably means we're dead now to Summon Primal Odin. That's discouraging. We're gonna end up 1 land short, aren't we? Well, I think our best bet, as wild as it sounds, is Y'shtola to double up. We have to hit a removal of some kind off of this Schimmel. We have to hit a removal spell of some kind. We get 2 shots at it. Schimmel. Oh! Oh, man, no. Well, I guess if you're going to die to Summon Primal Odin. Brutal. 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 Yeah, I mean, opponent's deck was fine. It looked fine. Wait, how's it an early scoop? I'm so confused. Aren't we literally dead on board there? They have 2 Summon Primal Odins that if they hit you once, you die? Is it just Heritage Reclamation? We could bring in Paw Patch. Is Paw Patch better? But they had 2 of them. Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess we should have seen the Schimmel trigger, yeah. Odds not great, but you're right. We should have seen the Schimmel trigger. That's true. You never know when you spin it to win it. You could spin into something. Oh, we're not playing Brawl today. At some point, I'm going to play Brawl, but we're playing Standard today. We're not going to play Brawl today, I don't believe. That go for the throat. That go for the throat. Could be Tranquil Frillback. Is that better? I mean, I guess Heritage Reclamation also can be Graveyard Hate. I want to keep the Fire Magic. Just I'm very unconvinced of Fire Magic being good. But I wanna keep it in. I want to keep it in to see if it's good. I don't think it's good. I think it's probably stone unplayable. But I want to see. So far, we haven't seen a single match to bring it in, which is already becoming a concern for a sideboard slot that we're like 5 matches in and we don't want it. But it's really like for aggro. Like the idea is it good against like Prowess or Mice or something? Those would be the matchups where theoretically it could be good. Brothers where I think, yeah, I mean, the problem is with that I have with Fire Magic is it only deals 2 damage for 3 mana, which is just not a lot of damage. Like kind of the going rate, it's 3 damage to everything for 3 mana. So you do get an instant speed. So you need to be in a meta where the difference between 2 and 3 is not a lot. Well, really first, you need to be in a meta where First off, 1 damage has to matter sometimes. Then the difference between 2 and 3 damage has to not be meaningful. And then there has to be upside to being instant speed. So I think there's definitely upside to being instant speed against prowess. The difference between 2 and 3, I'm not sure, because it does matter with things like... Fear of Missing Out, for example, would be a card I would think of that would die to Brother Seden, but not to Fire Magic. And then bringing it in to kill 1 toughness creatures, I mean, it can matter sometimes. You really gotta hope your opponent's got a bunch of tokens or something. Karaku14, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you. Thank you. Are you gonna play Bat Chocobos today? Probably not today, because we planned a bunch for early access, and they're coming up for a video on the YouTubes. So probably gonna avoid Chocobos for today. Although Chocobos, man, so many up the beanstalks. Although Chocobos were like my favorite early access day deck. That deck is so much. It was so fun. Well, Lango. Opponent appears to be mono black of some kind. Hopefully they're not Temur. Cecil does seem good in Temur, because you really don't want to block it, so it's a good way to get some ninjutsu action going. Opponent, Swamp, and gets in with the Cecil. Killing both of us equally. Down to 16. Unstoppable Slasher. Well, let's crack this Fabled Passage. Grab a island. Ureni. Well, let's up the beanstalk. Man, if we never trigger this up the beanstalk, these up the beanstalks, there's a Shimmo. I'll play the land past the turd. Maybe black aggro's our nightmare matchup. We can bounce the Slasher, but then what do we do next turn? Opponent, land. Combat. Actually, maybe do we take it? I think we take it. I think we take it and bounce end step. Yeah, down to 6. Preacher of the Schism. Well, bounce the Slasher. We need a top deck. Oh, no. No, we're dead. We're so dead. I mean, we played Chimmel next turn, but Chimmel can't get it. Man, so many up the beanstalks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're just straight up dead. Opponent, land. And getting in. Down to 13. Can you build a sideboard for Chocobo at least? I can help you with that. Building a sideboard for Chocobo should be, I can help you with that super quick and easy. Ritual Chamber. Makes a demon. I mean, I guess we'll spin it to win it. Man, look at all those beanstalks doing nothing. This is up the beanstalk at its worst. Like, all we did is play up the beanstalks. We never triggered up the beanstalks. I mean, there's nothing we can spin into that matters. So, we're dead. But yeah, remind me after this game and I'll try to help you. Why not bounce it before the hit? Because I think it's better to... The problem is if we bounce it before the hit, then they just replay it and hit us again with it the following turn when we need to tap out for stuff. So I think it's better to take the hit there, and then we essentially delay it by 2 turns by bouncing it, right? We bounce it, they have to replay it the next turn, and then they have to wait for it to lose Summoning Sickness, so we kind of get a 2-turn reprieve from it. That's my thinking anyway. Would have bought you another turn. I don't think that's how the math works. This opponent mono black aggro by the looks. Yeah, I think I've become convinced that Fire Magic is just not a playable card. I think next match, I think it's coming out of the sideboard. I just don't, we haven't found a single matchup where it does anything. It's just not enough. It's got cool art though. Cool black mage art, but as far as being a magic card, not especially good. I don't want to say it's bad because there could definitely be a meta in the future where it could be good. I just don't think we live in the meta now. Because I'm not convinced it's good against mice or prowess. Like, We can play. I would like to play against Prowess just to try it, but I'm actually skeptical that it's actually good in those matchups. To me, it seems like in Prowess they can just trigger Prowess and grow their stuff. In Mice, they grow outside of the range pretty quickly. What else can we cut? What else can we cut? We'll go down the T-Rex. Maybe we go 1 Ureni. I guess maybe like 1 FOMO, 1 Beans. Try it like that. Oh yeah, if we run into Convoke deck, Fire Magic is gonna get him. It is over. So yeah, it's just one of those cards I feel like there could be a meta in the future where it could be a really good sideboard card, but it's not the future yet, so I don't know if this is the meta for it. So excited for Final Fantasy Constructed. I'm determined to make Black Mage's staff work in Pauper. I mean, I played some Black Mage's staff for yesterday's Budget Magic, and it actually felt really good. Like, I feel like that is a card that's better than people think. Ooh, what's removal that you've gotten wrong during preview season? Ooh. Can you think of any? I definitely think of many cards that I've gotten wrong during preview season. I'm trying to think of a removal spell in specific that I got wrong. I mean, found it. Deep Cavern Bat to take the Brothers at end. I definitely think that... I'm sure there's got to be something. I feel like part of it is removal doesn't actually lead to a lot of hot takes. Like something like cut down. Usually like during a spoiler video or something, we're probably not having a super massive discussion of like how good is cut down going to be. It's probably like, oh, it's good removal against aggro creatures next. Or like it's, you know, one of the uncommons at then we're like, oh, it's going to get good against aggro. It's probably fine. Like, so I feel like it doesn't lead to as in-depth of takes as like trashing Jace Vryn's Prodigy or Arclight Phoenix or something when you spend 5 minutes talking about why you think it's bad. So I think that might be part of it. Were you a fan of the White Spree? Ooh, I did. So mostly for Commander, but yes, I actually did think that being instant speed was going to make that a good card in Commander, and I haven't even really played it. I played it in a couple of Commander decks that like specifically cared about instant speed or like it being 1 mana or whatever. So there's been a couple of Commander decks that I've played it in, but actually overall I have not played it in that many decks. So that's a good one. That's actually the best one I've heard so far. Because I was a fan of that card. A lot of people thought Quake Feast was bad. I mean, so Quake Feast, I still think it's kind of niche, right? Like it's good in an archetype, but outside of that archetype, like you don't play it over Go for the Throne, just a generic deck. But if you're a deck that does what it's looking to do, then it's good. Ooh boy, all right. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, we'll Scorching Shot the bat, although sadly, there's a bigger problem at the moment, which is this Archfiend of the Dross opponent. Best standard Final Fantasy card. In our deck today, it's probably the Silly Scientist guy. Honestly, it is probably truly the Scientist guy. Found it. Kills our thing. Jeez, Streams of Steel and Oil. One of my... If you want a concern, talking about... I mean, it's probably going to be Cloud getting Corey Steelcutter. I imagine that that's kind of buzzed. I feel like we could build a deck around that would just be insanely broken. Just like on its face, I think it's just like immediately insanely broken. About it. Taking down the Archfiend. Into the Flood was good. That gives us some chance of not dying right now. Although the demon's just going to come back. Opponent's going to Duress. Well, okay. Bounce the Archfiend. One concern I do have with all the banning stuff is There is a world where if they banned all the stuff that's really good right now, we end up in a world where Temur mid-range just dominates. And I don't know if people want that either. Like, I don't know if that's... Man, this is the saddest Shishulta. I don't know if people want that either, because we've been dominated by black mid-range decks for so long. My only worry with Cloud is you don't ever really want to equip the cutter to him. He's really only a tutor. That's true. Found it. Archfiend returns. All right. We need to draw... No, really? Another removal spell? Oh, sweet mother. Found it. Of infinite removal and discard. And we draw Yashulta, and we are dead. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do about losing temporary lockdown. The thing that is most scary in all this, well, there's two things that scare me. One is Wizards is amazingly mind-blowingly conservative with bannings. Like, picture the most conservative... the most conservative banning person you know, and then go like 10 more feet that way, and then you're starting to get like in near the Wizards parking lot, and then like another 50 feet, and then you're finally like in the front door, and then you actually have the people, they're like a mind-blowingly conservative when it comes to bannings. So I think that's one of the things that scares me. The other thing that scares me is just they didn't plan for this. Like, they made changes to rotations so late that it's not like this is some constructed format where they chose to put all these sets together because they thought it was going to make a good gameplay experience. Instead, this is a mishmash of sets that were supposed to have rotated, and then they decided to put Universes Beyond in standard, but they were supposed to be a modern. So it's not like this is a thought-out standard where they made conscious choices for, you know, for these cards to go together. Instead, it's really chaotic. It's a very chaotic standard, I would say, just because of the lack of planning and because of changing stuff at the last minute. All right, so we're gonna play more in just 1 second, but someone requested a sideboard for Chocobo, so I'm gonna show you a sideboard for Chocobo real quick. So if you're looking to play best of 3 in standard, you're really looking for 2 things. So, well, maybe slightly more than that, but the big matchups you got to be able to deal with mono red and you got to be able to deal with mono red and also deal with the mice deck. So for this, you need cheap removal. Unfortunately, and this is bad news, we can't really play Temporary Lockdown in this deck, because if we play Temporary Lockdown, we get rid of all of our Chocobo tokens and like a lot of our other stuff. So I don't think we can get away with playing Temporary Lockdown. Maybe you could if you try to like time it right, but I would say go split up. So split up is good. Another get lost is good. So basically, is Elspeth's Smite worth it? Maybe. Like, you gotta have some ways of dealing with these cheap rush threats. So that's kind of step number 1. Maybe Ride's End is fine. So something like this. So like some cheap removal for aggro. The other big one is, do we have any graveyard synergies? No. And then you need to be able to answer the graveyard to deal with Omniscience decks. You can either go Ghost Vacuum or Rest in Peace. Actually, I'm actually not sure what's better. Since we don't need our graveyard, Rest in Peace is good. Although we could also go Ghost Vacuum because we could exile our Chocobos and try to rebuild that way. I'm going to say Rest in Peace. Typically, if I have no graveyard synergies, I'll play Rest in Peace over Ghost Vacuum. But it actually is kind of close. Then you want Artifact and Enchantment Hate, which I like Heritage Reclamation quite a bit. Paw Patch Formation's also pretty good. And then for the more controlling games, a couple of negates, perhaps, maybe a Spell Pierce. But those are kind of the basic things that I look for in a sideboard. Stuff to deal with the best decks, which basically ends up being some amount of removal, some amount of graveyard hate, some amount of artifact and enchantment hate. And then the other thing I'd like to add, and I'm not really sure what it is in this deck, is maybe some sort of like card advantage engine for control. Where, think of like Reckoner Bankbuster, for example. Something where if you're in a grindy matchup, you can bring in, it comes down early, it draws you a few extra cards. I guess it could be like a treasure map. I'm actually not convinced that that's the right choice for this deck, but something like that. So I'd like something like this for a Chocobo, and I will actually just export this and put it in the chat, and then you can download it if you'd like. But yeah, I would go with that for Chocobo. We will play more Chocobo in the future. More is coming on the YouTube. And I do want to play them more because I actually want to see how they do in the full meta. I love Early Access Day. I love Early Access Day. Early Access Day is super fun, but it's also true that the meta is kinda unique, right? Anytime, Ninja Dave, anytime. Hey, Seth, if Wizards implemented a bounties system to motivate arena players to go off meta, your deck has no Corey Steelcutter, Monstrous Rage, or any of the top most played cards, you get 125% gold or bonus wildcard progress, would it help? I think it would. I think for arena in specific, I think that rewards that incentivize people to play off meta decks. Let's try this mono red equipment deck. I don't even know if this equipment's good. This deck's good, but I really want to try Furion. Gilgamesh is interesting to me. I wanna give it a try. It does have Corey Steelcutter in it, even though it's not really, I would say, a Corey Steelcutter deck. It just happens to be a mono red equipment deck, and that's mono red equipment, but we're not going to be a great Corey Steelcutter deck. But basically, we have a few big payoffs, right? Furion double triggers any equipment that enters, gets us a copy of any equipment that enters. So if we play equipment that can make bodies like Dragon Wing Glider or Samurai's Katana or Hexgold Halberd, we're going to get to keep the token around even after it's gone from the copy. Gilgamesh can put a whole bunch of equipment into play when we have Furion. Raban lets us equip the equipment for free. So basically, mono red equipment shenanigans. Hey, good to see you, Jester Stringer. I'm glad I'm streaming today, too. So I think that for Arena, to go back to the original question, I got to put a sideboard on this one. For Arena in specific, I would say that it would help quite a bit because I think one of the big issues I see with Arena, with people tending to play a lot of meta decks, is just the economy, right? Like the incentive on Arena, because wildcards are so expensive, it's hard to switch decks without spending a ton of money. Because of all that, it's really the easiest way to play is just to build one good deck and grind it and grind it and grind it to earn rewards. And I think that even a small incentive of some boost in the amount of wild cards you get or whatever, like even a small increase, I think might be enough to get more people to try off meta decks, which I think would be a positive. I mean, there was a conversation. What do you think about this? So Krim was talking to me about this. It came up on the podcast yesterday because apparently there's a new Riot card game. Does anyone know about the Riot card game? I'm actually curious if that's a thing people are. It's not hard to switch decks. It's hard to switch decks fast. Yeah, that's the best way of putting it. You can grind your way into additional decks. It's just going to take you a month or two. I've seen it. Yeah. So Krim was telling me that they got this new card game that's coming out, and one of the new things that is that they're doing with this card game, which it launches, which is I guess next year or later this year or something. But one of the things that they're doing is for their tournaments, they're giving prizes to people who play off meta decks. So I don't know Riot characters, but it would be the equivalent of being like, whoever goes to the next GP or showcase event or whatever, whoever goes to the next big tournament and does best with a Yashola rule deck, you're going to get a special Yashola rule theme prize or whatever. I don't know if that is like a promo card maybe or whatever, but that's how they're trying to incentivize people to play different decks and not just the same few meta decks. Do you think that would have an effect? Like if you could go to a Magic Con tournament or a GP style tournament, yeah, would you? It's essentially supposed to be a Brewer style reward. Do you think that would have a positive impact on Magic? I feel like it might. It could. You'd have to figure out exactly what the prizes would be. What they should do is what Hearthstone does and let you disenchant any cards you don't want of that rarity. Yeah, I mean, that's been a thing ever since Arena launched. It blew my mind when they launched Arena that crafting cards was not a thing. It was like when we had conversations, this was before we knew what Arena was, right? This is pre-Arena era. But when we had conversations about Arena and Yeah, let's just pass. When we had conversation about what we expected out of Arena, it was always just based on the assumption that there would be crafting, right? It was super obvious because every card game does it that way. So why wouldn't you do it that way? It blew my mind that they didn't have it as part of the game. Hey Seth, I think that unfortunately the best card to play with Cloud is an alchemy card, the ball lightning equipment. Would you ever consider an alchemy video for teaching Arena Zoomers about ball lightning? Ooh, maybe. I'm not fully opposed to doing an alchemy video. I think it could be a possibility. Although I don't know, I don't think it would be a teaching Arena Zoomers video because I don't think you can teach Arena Zoomers about an alchemy card. Like, I think the idea of that is to like show off an old card to people who might not know about it, kind of. And I feel like using an alchemy card to get the ball lightning, people might get mad about that. It's a cool idea, but I'm not a good enough player to fight for top 8. I might still tend to fight for the Brew Prize. Yeah, I mean, that would be nice, right? A way to get more people playing, potentially. We got the Furion, too. Well, play the land. Let's equip the Basilisk Collar. Go to combat. Hit ya. Death Touch. Lifelink. Well, let's Rebel Self with the Voice of Victory. Trigger Prowess. And you know what? Oh man, you can tell I've never played with Corey Steelcutter before. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever played with Corey Steelcutter because I hate that card. You can tell I'm not a Corey Steelcutter player because I think a Cutter player probably would have just double Rebel salvoed to trigger the Steelcutter and keep attacking, but instead we did whatever that was. Opponent Bruce Tarl Roving Rancher, eh? Although I am glad that we have. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the synergy that made me think Cloud could work. Is Crim got me during early access day with Cloud plus. Ooh, that's an equipment. Okay, so let's kill the Bruce Tarl. Give some triggers. Play Furion to set up for our synergy next turn with Samurai Katana. Yeah, we might as well move over the cutter. Dirty, dirty cutting. Hit you down to 14. Pass the turn. If the value of the prize was worth potentially missing out on prize money, yeah, that is true. I would assume that if you're a spiky player who thinks you can win the tournament, you're probably not going for the I built the best Furion deck prize, right? I think if you're like a pro, you're probably playing the best cutter deck or mice deck and trying to win the whole thing. On the other hand, if you're someone who is more of a like semi-competitive or casual player, that's where I could see it being pretty appealing to. Man, let's crack some maps on this Rubod. To have an option to maybe win a prize, even though you don't think you're super realistically gonna have a shot to win the tournament, maybe. But it might still get you to go to the tournament. Ooh, Fear Ruban Ether Spark combo. Okay. About it. Firing up the Soulstone Sanctuary. I wonder, do you think all these new equipment synergies can make the Ether Spark good? Have we reached the Ether Spark meta? Ether Spark. Triggers. Go to combat. Get in with Raban. Put the Ether Spark on it. About it. Are we blocking? Double blocking. Okay. We're kind of fine with this. Kill them both. Get a bunch of counters on the Ether Spark. And do we equip? Yeah, let's equip to protect it. We're going to delay our gratification. We want the 10 mana. We want the 10 mana to play Gilgamesh. We want to play the Gilgamesh and see how many equipment we can hit. Ether Spark's been so bad in Standard. Oh my god. But it might be turning now. Well, you may like this, Seth. Remember the foil lightning bolt planes I sent you from Odyssey a while back? Those copies are still expensive. The Dominator United reprints in old border foils looks almost as good, $1 per. Yeah, I really like the reprinting of well, let's do it. Get in there with the token. Opponent gonna fire up a Soulstone Sanctuary. That's fine, because we're about to have us a turn. We're about to have us a turn. 10 mana coming from the Ether Spark. Does damage from 2 blocks count as no? So it only counts the total amount of damage. So even if there's 2 blockers, it still ends up being the same amount of loyalty counters. Well, all right, 10 mana time. Ether Spark, 10 mana. All of it red. Yeah, I mean, Gilgamesh. Look at the top 6. Any number of equipment. It's a Halberd and a Lightning Axe for Mirrodin. And we might as well put that on the Gilgamesh. And then play this Katana. And opponent. Scooped it up. Cannot beat the Gilgamesh. Oh, yeah. That's my biggest hope for post-rotation Standard is my biggest hope is it just slows down a bit. Just slows down a little bit. So a CGB clip of Krim playing Boomer John. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I knew Krim was working on a Boomer John deck. What is our opponent playing? Just Boros? Might be like it's probably like a Discover deck. Bruce Taro would mostly be in a Discover deck. I mean, we had to Ether Spark to get enough mana to cast it that game, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good once we did. I kind of want the Scorching Shots. What do we go down? The other thing I'm not playing in this deck, and I don't know if it's worth it or not, but the other thing we're not playing is the 1-drop red thing that makes a mana for equipment. I wasn't sure if we had the right amount of equipment for it to be worth it. Is it good? It does have flying during our turn, so it's not bad wearing equipment. But that's one card I was on the fence about that ended up not quite making it. Yeah, let's just do a little trimming. Run it like that. So Gilgamesh, it is 6 mana, but I think it's pretty strong. Our first Gilgamesh, got 2 equipment, which, not bad. Oh, double A-Line X. All right. Well, I mean, if we can find a Rubon and start doing some equipping, that'd be pretty sweet. Also, Rebel Salvo becomes another one. Rebel Salvo becomes pretty good when you got some lightning axes on the battlefield. Opponent, Voice of Victory. Well, got a chainsaw for that. Out of here, Voice of Victory. Rev up the chainsaw, pass the turn. Do you find your enjoyment of Magic waxes and wanes, or is it consistent? I mean, I think it does a little bit, to some extent. But the baseline level is so high that even when it's kind of waning, I still really love Magic, if that makes sense. So there's times when I'm like, oh my god, I'm just playing, 16 hours of Magic a day, going. And then there's other times where I'm like, yeah, okay, play some Magic, do some other stuff too. So stuff like that happens. Man, I wish we could draw a land. But apparently that's impossible. Boy, this is really bad. Yeah, pass the turn. Pass the turn. Oh, Ultima would end our career. I think the main thing is my enjoyment of formats definitely waxes and wanes. But the way I typically deal with that is playing other formats. So in, Standard, I'm not feeling it. I'll play Modern, or Modern, I'm not feeling it. I'll play Pioneer or whatever. So that's kind of how I deal with that. So there's usually at least one format that I'm feeling kind of good about. Oh my god, it's a land. So we're going to Scorching Shot a token. Rev up the chainsaw. Rebel salvo. The Elspeth trigger the dirty, dirty cutters. Yeah, Rebel salvo seems very good. Like Witch Stalker Frenzy plus at the moment. Well, get in at the Elspeth. See if we can get it off the battlefield. You know what? We finally hit a fire magic matchup, maybe. Opponent. Get lost on the token. Triggers a chainsaw. Doug! Day in Wildfire for the 79th month. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. The Elspeth lives. It goes to 1, but it lives. Wow. Okay. Hey, Seth, I got something fun for you. It's a Tele deck. Somehow, Tele is a card that I figured no one would really build around because it's kind of another Is It Spellslinger commander. So I figured, oh, we got a ton of these. I don't know how hyped people are going to be for Tele, but this is the second Tele deck I've seen today. So this is Tele X Spells, which that was my first thought with Tele was, well, X spells, you can kind of control how much mana you cast them for. Seems like a good way to build around it. So that definitely looks super sweet. The other one was Tele Equipment, which was a very weird idea, but also a very spicy idea. Found it. Elspething. More Elspething. More tokening. Hits us, passes. We draw Rebel Salvo. The lack of mana is making us die. It's really bad. Yeah. Crack a map. 3 lands and 15 cards. All right, crack a map. Ah! Okay. I'll go to combat. Attack the Elspeth. Opponent lets it go. Well, okay. Then we get to Rebel Salvo. You know what I wish I had right now? You know what card I wish I had in hand, chat? Fire Magic. I would trade my entire deck for a Fire Magic right now. I know I've been trashing it. But I really need a Fire Magic. Yeah, this was about as clunky as a draw can go. All right. Yeah. No Fire Magics. What happened to Scoops? Wait, is Scoops gone? Garfield, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. First time sub, big Scoop cheer for you. Thank you. We don't have a Fire Magic. See, we should have a Fire Magic. We don't have a sweeper at all in this deck. I don't think we needed one, but maybe we do. I know, now I want one after trashing it for the whole last deck. I will have to look into that. I actually don't know. All right, we're going to try this. We might regret it. We have 2 Leyline Axes, but we have the Rubon in hand. If we can put the Rubon in play and get the Lightning Axe on it, that's kind of scary. It is awkward that, I mean, this is the exact hand that didn't work last game, which is concerning. And we don't have any real red mana, which is doubly concerning, because if they kill this Rubon, we just might not cast a spell. No. Seriously? You believe in removal, Mihao? No. Torch the tower to kill the Rubon. Oh, boy. Found it. The voice of victory. Now, maybe this deck has too many colorless lands. Hey, have fun at your stream, Doug. Thanks for swinging by. The deck looks sweet. Opponent getting in with the voice of victory. And make some tokens. All right, we drew a mountain. The game will continue. Let's chainsaw the voice of victory. So I think we're seeing what I would say is the traditional equipment deck problem, which is if you're playing traditional equipment that need to be equipped to things, you need to have a mixture, right, of, oh, they're going to kill it. You know they're going to kill it. Well, we're going to play the Furion. You know they're going to kill it because they're jerks like that, but we gotta try. That was the whole point of this deck, was to do Furion things, don't it? Lightning Helix. Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, that was the hope, was to solve the problem of needing creatures to equip to in removal heavy matchups by having lands that can make creatures like Murex and Soulstone Sanctuary, but maybe it's too much. But that was the thinking, is if our opponent wraths or just kills all of our stuff, we need bodies to put the equipment on. Found it. Lightning Helix. I mean, I think this is actually kind of going fine, though, because our opponent's just not doing anything. They're killing all of our stuff, but they're not really, like, making any traction at killing us. Opponent gonna get lost the token. And the chainsaw is getting kind of ridiculous. Any Lindblums? No Lindblums. Now we draw a mountain. Well, let's... Yeah, let's pass the turn and see what happens. I mean, they got to be about out of removal, right? They've cast 4 removal spells. How many removal spells can they possibly be playing, opponent? Getting in. Oh. This means they have a removal spell, right? That means they got to have a removal spell. Or they're just bad at Magic. Is it a removal spell, or are they bad at Magic? I mean, we got to go for it. Jeez. Hey, opponent. Removal spell number 5. Well, there's a Rubon. That is sort of a Magic card. Chainsaw. Trigger the Cutter. Kill a token. Grow the chainsaws. I mean, the chainsaw's up to 6 counters. This Rubon's about to become game ending if our opponent doesn't top deck. Come on. Not another. No way. Another one off the top? You see him looking at the Rubon. You know they. No. No. Come on. No. I think they. Did they actually just top deck another removal spell? So opponent's actually, I thought they were an aggro deck, but our opponent's kind of like a control deck. Opponent counters on the dorks. Gets in. Hits us to 9. Passes. Well. 1, 2, 3. Leyline Exarubon. I still feel like they top deck a removal spell. Opponent. Incredibly deep in the tank. Oh, jeez. Well, that is incredibly unfortunate. That is super bad. I mean, I think that's just game. They just win with the Flyers now. Well, that good game. Wow. Oh, that was one of the most BM good games that I've seen in a long time. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, okay. I mean, you can't beat the Magic gods. I mean, they literally didn't have it because they had 0 cards in hand. So they quite literally did not have it. Hey, so I enjoy your podcast. You're generally one of the most enjoyable people in Magic. Thanks for the years of great content. Well, Sleep Theft, thank you so much. Tifa seems good so far, really. What are you playing Tifa in, Dark Genikai? Genical? Yeah, that was very unfortunate. Well, that hand sucks. I mean, maybe this deck just sucks. Maybe Furion sucks. That is a possibility that Furion's just not a good card. opponent. Elegant Parlor. So is it a deck where you're trying to, like, combo with... Is it a deck where you're trying to, like, combo off in one shot with Tifa? Or is it just kind of like a fair deck that has Tifa in it? Like, is the goal to 20 someone with Tifa or Sage of the Skies for our opponent? Well, all right. Play the land. Furion. Go. Yeah, Rakdos Wizards are super fun. That sounds sweet, Dark Genkai. I mean, I think Zaz Chocobo in a landfall deck is good. How it lines up, I think the question is, are we still in the optimistic stage where we're assuming that the meta is going to shift, or are we in the realistic stage of the meta being driven by, 2 decks or 3 decks or whatever? I think the Zaz Chocobo should be a good card. Whether or not it can be a good card in the current meta, that's another question. Like, green has not been a good color, and it dies to all the popular removal spells, and everyone's got to play a ton of the popular removal spells because you have to if you want a chance to give up with aggro, blah, 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 blah. So that would be my concern, but I think it's a good card. I think it's probably the best uncommon from the set. Hopium or copium, exactly. Well, get in with Furion. How do you like us now, opponent? Hit you for 4. Opponent, Shadowy Backstreet. Bards and Boko, so good. It's Flame Tongue Kavu. How's Limited been? I haven't played, I'll have to do a draft at some point, but I haven't really played any Limited yet. Well, all right, play the land. Boom. Hex Gold Hallbred. Make a copy of it. For Mirrodin. Okay, Furion popping off. Hex Gold Hallbred. Make a copy of it. Oh, all right. Opponent learns that they had a removal spell in hand. Well, let's equip the boots, I guess. Hit ya. Down to 20. Okay, I mean, that was cool. It wasn't game-winning, but it was cool. Opponent, Trumpeting Carnosaur. Spins into even more inevitable defeats. You know what we need in Standard is Blood Moons. We need some Blood Moons. Any plans for a viewer battle stream with the new cards? Maybe between the PT and the BNR. Yes, I want to do a viewer battle with the new cards. The only question is... Yeah, I think we're just dead. Inevitable defeat deals a lot of damage. Yeah, maybe Furion is not gonna cut it. We might have to switch. We might have to switch it up. Get in, hit ya, gain 3. The only problem is gonna be missing the next 2 streams while they're blocking, so they're just gonna reanimate it. All right, I mean, play the Rubon. They must have reanimation in hand, otherwise that block makes no sense. Opponent gets it, hits us down to 9. All right, opponent passes. Well, we will go to combat. Do some attacking. Yeah, we'll just let it go. But yeah, because of Vegas gonna mix the next couple of streams, so I'll have to figure out when I can get on the schedule, but definitely planning on doing a viewer battle stream. Me and my buddy did our first pre-release. We did 2 at a Giant Sealed. We went 3-0 running Redback Removal deck. He was running Bird Simic Landfall. Hey, congratulations. How'd you like it, a guy named Spare? How was your first pre-release? Pre-release is always a good time. People are usually pretty chill, especially for with new players. I do not know why our opponent blocked with that Carnosaur. I'm pretty sure that Carnosaur was going to beat us. Opponent Fountain Port makes a fish. About it. Yeah, I mean, then I think if I was playing white, I'd probably be a Cloud deck. And I probably would play a lot fewer of these cards. Why no Blade Graft? I'm going to have to look up what that is. What is Blade Graft? Oh, wait, no. What is the card? Why no Blade Graft? Do you know the full name of the card, Delphi Guru? I'm not sure what card that's referencing. Been saving up my wild cards for a year for this set. Any deck you'd recommend building this far? Honestly, oh man, that one's so tough. I would say, Blade Graft Aspirant? Blade Graft Aspirant. 3 mana, 2/3 menace. Equipment costs 1 less to cast. Activate abilities on equipments you control that target it costs 1 less to activate. Yeah, maybe. The ramping is nice. I mean, those are 2 good abilities. The body's pretty meh. But the abilities seem fine. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about it. I'm not sure if it's better than the other options in the cards currently in the deck. Too bad it wasn't like a 3/3 or something. Dodging like cut down would be nice. I went to Final Fantasy pre-release and someone went 6-0 with Jeskai control. It was great. Ooh, that sounds super fun, Lord. Did you open anything sweet? So, Moist Outlet, I think the challenge is we have a ban list update coming in 3 weeks. And it's one of those ban list updates where there's a reasonable chance that something happens. So it's really, if you've been saving wild cards for a year, I would feel really bad to be like, oh, you should go build this deck. And then either find out that bannings make it invalid or that it just does end up being good in the meta. I will say the deck that I enjoyed playing most so far, and this was mostly early access, was actually the Bant Chocobo deck. I really had fun playing Chocobo, and they felt pretty good. Whether or not they actually stand up to the current top tier meta, that's kind of another question, and I don't know the answer to that yet. And then the whole meta is going to shift again, potentially, once we get to the bannings. But if I had to just pick one deck, like, my favorite's been the Chocobo deck. Is that going to be a top tier deck that like wins a pro tour? Probably not, especially in the current meta. But did it seem fun and like, at least on early access day, reasonably competitive? I would say yes. I think the Uni-Reanimator plan could also be pretty good. That's another deck that I think could actually be pretty good in standard. All right. Nothing to rube on. Maybe we try a few games with the Boros. The Boros Cloud equipment. We haven't played Cloud at all yet. We played Sephiroth. We played Yasholda. No Cloud yet, though. Found it. Fish jump. Down to 9. Well, land go. Port. I'm pretty sure if our opponent just did not block with that Carnosaur, we were dead like 4 turns ago. Why? They were at 20. Why would they block a 3-power creature with Death Touch and First Strike? Quintorius Con. It still blows my mind. Bone it. Spins it to win it. Spins it to win it. Do you think Traveling Chocobo is worth crafting a playset of Mythics? Like in a generic sense, or like to play the Chocobo deck? If you're gonna play the Chocobo deck, I think that Traveling Chocobo's probably necessary. I think it's one of the better Chocobo. Would I craft it just on the off chance of would I craft it just on the off chance that I'm gonna need it as like a generic staple for my collection? Then I'd probably wait until I had a deck that it required it. Well, let's fire up the Sanctuary. Untap. Ooh, Chainsaw's not the worst. Play the Chainsaw. Get rid of the Sage of the Skies. One of them. Go to combat. How do we attack here? How do we attack? So if everything goes face, let's send the Might over there. Yeah, actually, let's kill the Quintorius. Kill the Quintorius. Everything else face. Put the Chainsaw on the Rubon. One thing I've learned is that y'all are really good at pre-release. so many pre-release champions in the chat. Going 4-0, going 6-0. What are the realistic odds that this town gets banned? If I was going to put a percent on it, under 5%. Like, I think... So I actually just made a video, a short that's going up tomorrow, of the 8 cards that I thought could possibly be banned at the ban list update at the end of the month. And that was number 8. That was like I felt like it was worth mentioning, but it was the very last card on the list. So I would say that I think it's possible, but I would say that it's pretty unlikely in my opinion. I think it's pretty unlikely that it actually happens. So yes, it could happen. No, it's not especially likely to happen. I also think no changes is like less. I think it's equally low percent. I think no changes is very unlikely. I think the guarantee is that Monstrous Rage goes. I think that would be the minimum. I think the minimum is they ban Monstrous Rage. I could see that. I put the over-under would be 3. I think 2.5, maybe 2.5 is correct. But somewhere around 3, I think, would be the over and under. Of how many cards? If it's much over 3, I'd be very surprised. If it's 0, I would be shocked. But I think Rage is the obvious one. Cutter is the next most obvious one. Personally, for me, Manifold Mouse would be the third one. It's so tough. It's so tricky with this yearly, once-a-year ban list cadence. It's just so tricky because I would like to be like, well, just ban Monstrous Raging Cutter. Maybe Manifold Mouse will be fine without Monstrous Rage to give trample to the double striker. Like maybe in the end it actually won't be a problem. Opponent cascades into Sage of the Skies. That's a lot of life linkers. This has been actually a wild game. This has been a super wild game. Beans in this town. I think Beans in this town will be interesting to see how Wizards handles them. Because I think if you just look at the current meta of today, it's honestly pretty hard to argue that either of those cards are a problem, right? Like, yes, Zur exists, but it's not dominating by any stretch. It's arguably not even tier 1. Yes, Self-Bounce exists, but Esper with this town is really faded. Although there is a new build of Is It that is... I wonder if I can find it. There's a new build of Is It that's playing more this towns and being more of like a Cutter control deck almost, if that makes sense. Rather than the full-on, like, super aggro prowessy deck, so maybe that's part of it. But I would say if you look at the current meta, it's pretty tricky. It's pretty tricky to form a good argument of why they need to be banned right now. Although, I hope that Wizards thinks of it as like, okay, we don't have another ban list update for a year. We don't have rotation for a year and a half after this. So maybe we err on the side of, you know, People don't really like Up the Beanstalk. Yeah, it's not a huge problem right now, but I don't think anyone's going to complain if we ban it, so let's just get rid of it. Something like that. Yeah, that's the other thing. I think if they're gonna do a Reflector Mage type ban, one deck that we haven't talked about is actually Temur. Temur is the deck, if they did some like super major banning, let's say they go in and they're like, we're going to ban all 3 of the big red cards. We're going to ban Manifold Mouse, we're going to ban Monstrous Rage, we're going to ban Cutter, and then we're going to ban Up the Beanstalk, and then we're going to ban this town, and then we're going to ban Omniscience or something, and just like wipe out the top of the meta, which I would be shocked if they went that far. Or very surprised. I wouldn't say shocked, but I'd be surprised if they went that far. But if they did something along those lines, then it could make sense. Well, let's get rid of the Sage of the Skies. Then it could make sense. All right, well, keep on attacking. Rev up them chainsaws. Go to combat. Attack. 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 Put the equipment on the token. Opponent has to at least block something. Blocks. Kills a Rubon. Down to 5. The chainsaws rev up a little bit. Well, we're going to replay the Rubon. And move over the Lava Spur Boots. The lifelink on both sides of the table is just keeping this game going. Like, our opponent keeps gaining life with these Sage of the Skies. We keep gaining life with the Basilisk Collar. And no one's dying. No one can get through enough damage through the life gain to actually kill the opponent. Yeah, the deck's grinding right now. The deck's actually grinding it out at the moment. Found it. Fountain Port. Fish. Down to 6. Okay, just a land. Just a land. Can we close it out? I wish we had Trample. Opponent passes. Well, play the land. How do we do this? 1, 2, 3. Let's chainsaw on the Basilisk Collar token. Go to combat. Do some attacking. Attack, 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 attack. Now let's see what they do. All right, here we come. I can confirm Summon Fenrir is a great card. It's been doing great stuff for me. Yeah, I think Summon Fenrir is pretty good. I think it probably ends up... I like the Scientist today. If you're in Simic, the Scientist actually seems pretty good too. But I feel like it's probably like the second best green ramp spell behind Overlord. Overlord's really good. But then I think Summon Fenrir is probably next on the list. I will say, I don't know, what is your experience, Ben? Because I will say one thing about the standard meta, and this is a very positive take on the standard meta. I feel like, at least my recent experience on Arena, is not the same as the meta that you see. Oh boy. They probably should have block sacked with the fish to fizzle the life gain here. Oh wait, just kidding. We do have trample. Wait, our opponent's dead. Okay, that was way easier than I expected. That was super long, but in the end we got there. But one thing I'll say is, like, when you see the tournament meta and you're like, oh my god, 30% prowess, 20% mono red, that's half the matches are going to be mono red or going to be prowess, which is like what we've seen from recent tournaments, right? Our experience on Arena doesn't really doesn't really back that up, though. It doesn't really back that up. The meta seems much... How many times have we played Prowess today? How many times have we played Mono Red? Maybe once total in like 2.5 hours or something? So I think maybe it's just the rank that we're at. Maybe once you get to Mythic, it's like that. But I do think it makes Arena seem a little bit scarier, a little bit maybe worse than it actually was. Yeah, maybe it's a product of being at Platinum or whatever. And once you get up to the top ranks, maybe it's all like that. But I'm enjoying that we haven't played against it a ton today. What do we want in our sideboard? So it's a Cascade. I don't even know what to think of this deck. It's like 5-color Cascade, 4-color Cascade. Well, let's bring in the links. Bring in the links. And that might be about it. Bring in the links. Go down. Oh. Let's go down one of the hybrids and... Yeah, we'll go down one. We'll go down one Lightning Axe or not like that. Any plan for a Minwoo Swole Sisters deck? Yes, that's on my list. Oh, there's so many. The list of decks I gotta get through from this set is so long. Hello, Czar. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, maybe I'm just getting lucky, Zilty Smacker. When I turn a ring from Diamond and grind a Mythic, I become a full meta slave, but 75% of the time, it's more fun to brew and let's see what happens than meta slave. I think that's true. I enjoy the brewing way more than the meta slaving. What's up, Acid Kiss? How are you? Good to see you. Oh, best of 3 and best of 1 is... It's a different format. It's a whole different world. Seth, if the devil went down to upstate New York and bet a play mana gold against your soul because he thinks he's better at you than Magic, do you accept his bet? And if you do, what deck do you bring? Ooh, I get to pick the deck and the format? But is there fiddle music playing as this happens? None of this matters if there's not frantic fiddling in the background. How easy is this game to get into? Very easy, Czar, and it's, well, okay, so it's very easy. You can actually do it all for free. Go over to mtgarena.com, download it. You get a ton of stuff for free. Eventually, you can pay to, like, speed up the progression to get more cards, but you can also get all the cards for free just by playing the game. So, the hardest part of getting into it is there's actually a lot of... Have you ever played Magic? If you've never played Magic before and you don't even know the basic rules, I would definitely recommend going through like the tutorial mode because that's going to be the trickiest part. Although the game does a pretty good job of walking you through the basics if you've never done it before. So I would say Arena's pretty easy to pick up. So what format and deck would I play if I had to play? Yes, I'm taking the bet. You gotta take that bet. How do you say no to that? I would, man. So the problem is, I know that I would increase my odds of keeping my soul if I said, like, Cutter or something. But is it worth it? Like, you still got to sleep at night. I guess the real question is it better to lose your soul to the devil and play a brew or increase your odds of keeping your soul if it means playing a meta deck that you don't like? I feel like if you give up your code just to save your soul from the devil, what does that say about you as a person? So I think we just go classic. We would go modern, and I would pull out Mono Red Prison, and I would pray hard to the magic god so we have a turn 1 Blood Moon. Although that's probably the worst strategy because if I think of the devil, I think of like Mono Red player, right? And if he's playing Mono Red, we're done. If it's turn 1 basic mountain, we feel our soul leaving our body. right then and there. We know that it's gonna be over no matter what's going on. Let's play this land. Let's get down Furion. Let's get in, hit you with a Rubon. Take that, opponent. How do you like the 2 to the face? Down to 16. Opponent. That is a pretty good song. Ooh, all right, opponent. Gets rid of the Rubon, can't get rid of the Furion. Okay. Mountain. Cutter. Twice because of Furion. Chainsaw. Trigger. Yes, please. We would not like to target any of our creatures. We will make another chainsaw. We will go attacking. Hit ya. Found it down to 7. And that was a Furion turn. We actually got to do things with Furion. You know what I was thinking of, chat? Speaking of music, what's the best song with whistling in it? Yeah, Devil and Under Georgia's kind of a banger. What's the best whistling song? I feel like there's whistling songs get stuck in my head, but I can't think of that many of them. I know there's the like, oh man, 2 cutters thanks to the Furion doubling. It's an equipment Panharmonicon. Ooh, Sin by the Dock is a good one. Wait, does All Star have whistling in it? I don't remember the whistling solo. I might have blocked that part out of my brain. Well, opponent, how do you feel about a Sunspine Lynx? Hitting you down to 1. Opponent untaps. And 2 temporary lockdowns. A Leyline Binding. Another Leyline Binding. They gotta play a demon, though. Do they have a demon? Do they have a demon? Sage of the Skies. It's a monk. It's a human monk. And that's death. Unholy Eggs. Taking him down, Furion. That was pretty good. Go Cactus Man from Cowboy Bebop. I don't even know that song. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Those are some good answers. Oh, the soundtrack to Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That movie's so good. I haven't watched that movie in a long time. That's a song in Hello Be With Good Company by Dead South is actually the song that made me think of it. That and Home by Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. I can't whistle it. But those were the 2 songs that were the whistling line just gets stuck in my head. How will be in Good Company and Home. I'm gonna look up some of the rest of those. Dead South is a region I bought. I really like that style of music. I don't listen to Dead South that much in specific, but they're one of the bands I got really into. Like, people call it Merfolk or Southern Gothic, or there's a bunch of different labels for it, but got really into that a couple years ago. Ooh, House of the Right. Don't worry, be happy. That is also a good one. Do boop boom. There's a Guster song with whistling in it too. You know, there's probably like a whistling playlist on Spotify. I bet there's a playlist. You know what? Let's try another game or two with this deck. We won that last one. That actually it actually felt fine there. Actually, you know what? Hang on. I do want to change the mana base slightly. But the idea is cool. I don't know if I know Rose's Pawn Shop. Let's go to the vault for a mountain. And yeah, let's just run it back. I'm doing a thing with people called Music League, where we prompt each other each week, and everyone submits something to fit the prompt. Then there's voting and stuff. Really cool way to find new music. Oh, that's a super cool idea. Oh, Pumped Up Kicks. Yes, that's a good one. Am I driving you crazy with whistling poorly? Probably. Why are views dropping? It might be the whistling. But I do love that song. Pumped Up Kicks. That's a good song. Oh, me and Julio down by the school. What's the whistle? I'm gonna have to look that one up again. I don't remember the whistling in that song, which is probably good for all of you because if I did, I'd be trying to whistle it right now. And ooh, best song about tragedy. Pumped Up Kicks. It is a good song about tragedy. Is it actually is this Soul Sisters? Is it Soul Sisters action? Are we finding out if Ruin Lurker Bat is good in, that might just be Bats, is good in Soul Sisters? I had to take my mom somewhere like a week ago, and and we were driving, and for some reason, she was like, we're talking about like weird songs or something, and somehow The Streak came up, and she's like, yeah, back in my generation, we had this song called The Streak, and it was about people used to like streak it. They would go to sports games and just streak, run naked through the sports game. I was like, I'm pretty sure that has just been blocked out of culture at this point. I don't think I've heard of streaking being a thing. It's like an accepted thing that people just like laugh about in my lifetime. I think now if you did that, you would probably be immediately considered like some sort of creep and whatever. It's so funny to me that in the like 70s or whatever, it was just like, yeah, so like sometimes you go to Wimbledon and some naked dude just goes and runs around the tennis court for a while, and I was like, that was just a thing that people are like, yeah, that's cool, yeah. I mean, I guess. I think the world has changed a little bit. Yeah, there's way too many cameras now. The song is kind of funny. Do people still do it? No. Real? Okay, maybe in soccer. I feel like in American sport, it's not. I can't think of a time that I've been. Actually, maybe there was like a Super Bowl when I was a kid where someone ran on the field, but I don't think they were. I know people run on the field sometimes. I've heard of that, but the actual like naked part of it, that I don't think there's been a sporting event in my lifetime that I've remember that happening of. All right, let's double strike it. Get in there, Hex Gold. Hit ya for 6, down to 16. People going on the field's definitely a thing. Yes, that's definitely a thing. I think there was one where someone made a bet that they would be a streaker during the finals. I guess if the streaker was the guy who made the bet. Found it, charted card. This has to be a Prop Eidetic memory deck, right? With all this card draw, it's gotta be some sort of Prop Eidetic memory pile. Did FF calls rotation? No. So rotation happens with Edge of Eternities, which releases in August, and there's a Prop Eidetic memory. So yes, no rotation yet. Found it. Gonna grow the Rune Lurker Bat. Gets and hits us. Are we going to lose to a Rune Lurker Bat? Of all cards, opponent to the top. We draw a Lava Spur Boots. Well, play the land. Equip the collar. Equip the boots. I mean, we have built the best Rebel token. Get in. Hit ya. Rebel token Voltron. I mean, do you remember oh, opponent takes it down to, maybe we can race with life gain. Do you remember the Seance guy? The like bet thing of the Super Bowl made me think like, I kind of feel like we had our equivalent of that with the Seance guy. Trying to pay people to play a Seance deck at the Pro Tour. It still makes me sad that Wizards said no to that. Birds aren't real. Do y'all actually believe birds are real? I read on the internet that birds aren't even real. There was a whole website about it. And you know that anything that's on the internet has to be true. Chocobo, though. I still need to play Chocobo in best of 3. I still need to play them in best of 3. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. They were my favorite early access day deck, and they felt really good on early access day. How they match up to the full meta, that's another question. Yeah, I'm not sure these 2 4-mirrored Indorks are going to be enough to beat this. We drew 0 removal. I mean, I guess we were also on the mulligan, but we just did not draw any removal. And our opponent has this huge life-linking Ruin Lurker bat that we can just not keep up with. When Haunishin rotates, man, opponent's all about these unable to screams. I almost feel I almost feel like this is like a Sparky deck. This reminds me of a Sparky deck. I feel like we're losing to a Sparky deck. Healer's Hawk, former standard staple Healer's Hawk. Oh, you know what would be good? You know what would be good in this matchup that we're about to scoop? Fire Magic. If we had Fire Magic, we would be sniping those Healer Hawks so hard. Maybe Fire Magic's a staple. Maybe it's a staple. Yeah, Chocobos, you know what the secret of Chocobos are? Here's my advice to you. If you're going to experiment, I feel like a lot of the Chocobo decks, I'm not sure what are the deck lists for Shuffle Up and Play public? I'm curious. Let's see. Huh. I was curious. My opinion on Chocobos is this. Everyone's playing the silly rabbit. I saw so many people playing the silly rabbit. Is it Valley Quest Caller? Do not play I don't think Valley Quest Caller is good. I think playing a rabbit in your birds deck is silly. I know it's Scries. I know it's a Lord. I don't think you need it. I think the Valley Quest Caller, no. Please don't play Valley Quest Caller. The card that makes it work, it sounds like a meme, but the single most important card to Chocobo is Side Quest Raise a Chocobo. This is what Chocobo, this is what, I know tricks are for kids, Mega Magic. I know. Side Quest Raise a Chocobo is the card that makes Chocobo into a real deck. It's not Choco. It's not the 1-drop. It's none of that. This is the card. It doesn't look like much, but this is actually an absurd power creepy magic card. For 2 mana, you get a 2/2 landfall Chocobo. And then, at the beginning of first main phase, if you have 4 or more birds, and that's 1 bird is a Chocobo makes, so you need 3 other ones, you flip around into Black Chocobo, another 2/2, but when it enters, you get to put any land into play tapped, and it gives super landfall. When a land enters all of your birds, I guess we have to actually sideboard a little. What are we even playing against? This deck. All right, that deck. Hang on. I want to keep talking about how amazing. It is. Just give me 1 second to sideboard. All right, close enough. 61 card special. But my experience has been that the way the Chocobo deck wins is you got me good that time, Mega Magic Carb. The way the deck wins is you play this early game just to get a body on the battlefield, and then the turn when it flips, you pretty much win the game. Like, you get so many landfall triggers. You already have at least 4 birds on the battlefield that just flipping into Black Chocobo wins you the game on the spot. So I actually think that even though it sounds like a meme because it's a side quest card, I actually feel like this is probably the most important card to making Chocobo work. The Bird Mana Leak. What is it? Lofty? Is it Lofty something? It's, what is it? 2 mana, counter a spell unless its controller pays 2, but if you have a bird or a flyer, something like that, it's pay 4 instead. I would say that if I'm thinking of the same card, I think it's good. I'm not sure if Chocobo... It depends on if you want a counter in the main deck of Chocobo. I'm not sure if you need a counter in the main deck of Chocobo or not. Opponent going to exercise the Corey Steel Cutter. Oh, man, this deck's had a hard time hitting land drops. Maybe we need some sort of filtering or something. About it. I only have one draft token. Do I enter best of 1 or best of 3? Personally, I tend to play... Oh, boy. Personally, I tend to play best of 1 for drafts. Especially for content. I think they're better than best of 3s. I think that best of 1 is probably easier to win at, too. I would think that, like, the hardcore grindery people are probably playing best of 3s. I'd lean towards best of 1. But the real answer is, what do you enjoy more? What are you going to have more fun with? If you only get one draft, I would do the one that you're going to have the most fun with. Well, let's play Furion. See if it sticks. I'm not sure if this is a hot take or not. You can jam Sunspine Links in Price of Progress in any deck in Commander with red and be able to win you games no matter your strategy. I don't know if that's a hot take either, but I actually agree. I agree with that. I think especially Price of Progress is kind of ridiculous. Opponent, Enduring Curiosity. Oh, speaking of hot takes. Man, we're getting wrecked. What is a good Commander hot take? I want your Commander hot take, chat. Give me your best Commander hot take. Opponent hits us for 6 with Enduring Curiosity, draws another card. Josh Cal, welcome to the Fishbowl for the 18th month, 1.5 years. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. Bonus Surge Engine. And God dang it. Yeah, we're so dead. Well, kill Enduring Curiosity. Not even really, just partly. Rev up the chainsaw. And pass the turn. Ooh, Commander damage is the best way to win games nowadays. That's a Roiling Drake. What is this deck? It is just anything that can draw cards, isn't it? Yeah, opponent seems very committed to props. Man, I wish I had Fire Magic. Commander hot take. Playing CDH will make you a less salty player than playing casual consistently. I think that's true. Let's Rebel Salvo it. All right, bullet dodged, chainsaw, Revan. And opponent, even more surge engines. Well, let's play the Rubon. Play the whole bread. And pass the turret. This enables the Screams wrecking us. Here it is. Commander was meant to be played in a meta of your friends for an optimal experience. Game changers in brackets cannot change this. You know what? Is this too hard of a hot take? Commander was never, I don't know how to phrase it the best, but like something to the extent of Commander with randoms sort of sucks. But that's not true because I like playing with randoms. But the point is, like, Commander is the design to be played with your play group. I don't know how to phrase that exactly, but I think that like the purest form of Commander and what Commander was intended to be, not that its intent really matters these days, but I do think that like with your play group that you've played with a bunch of times and you make your own rules and have like your own, house ban lists or whatever, I think that is Commander in its purest form. I don't want to like degrade playing with randoms because I love going to MagicCon and just jamming games with random people too is a different experience. But I do think that like the playgroup experience is peak Commander. MLD, how about combos? Opponent, your deck's too annoying. All right, too annoying, opponent. How about, is it possible to show you a standard deck list? I tweaked mono green aggro. It's been ridiculous so far. Yeah, send me a link, Josh Cal. I'd love to see it. The place to play your janky mythics died. So afterwards started printing cards. Yeah, that is actually an interesting point. I feel like there's cards now, like a decade ago, maybe more than that now. But in the past, I definitely remember whenever we talk about new cards and there was some random 8-drop that wasn't going to see play in Standard or Modern, the meme was always, oh, it's good in Commander. It'll be good in Commander. There's any big thing, Ancient Animanios, Absolute Virtue, Clive, anything like that that's not going to see, I mean, and some of these might be reanimation targets in Standard, but big unplayable Standard stuff, you're just like, oh, it's going to be good in Commander. But now I don't even know that that's true because Commander's gotten so powerful that I feel like there's literally like no home for some cards. Although I guess the beauty of Commander is it's casual, so you can kind of play whatever you want to play, whether you like to or not. Do you think, how about this one? EDH Rec has made Commander worse. As weird as that sounds. Because I love EDH Rec, and I use EDH Rec a lot. But I do think that EDH Rec, I feel like there's, in my brain, and maybe this is wrong, but I feel like part of what makes Commander beautiful is the, like, you play whatever you want to. And I actually think that being too reliant on using a tool like EDH Rec takes away from part of the fun in the self-expression of Commander. And I'm saying this as someone who loves EDH Rec and uses EDH Rec all the time. And remember, these are hot takes we're working on here. But I think that might kind of be true, at least for some people. That if you become too dependent on using EDH Rec, you're going to have less fun. You're going to have less fun playing Commander than you would otherwise. Not that, because I'm not an anti-net decking person. I feel like, though, Commander, part of what makes Commander fun is the casual nature of it. And I feel like building off of a sheet that tells you the best cards for every archetype, I think it takes away from some of the casual nature of it. I also think that EDH Rec is an incredibly helpful tool. The way I use it the most, and the way I try to use EDH Rec, is I try to build the deck how I want to, and then a lot of times I'll use EDH Rec as like a double checking tool, if that makes sense, where I'll build the deck and then I'll look at EDH Rec and be like, oh my god, how did I miss that? So obvious, perfect card for my deck, and add that card in. I think I try not to build directly from EDH Rec. I try to build and then use EDH Rec to fill in any gaps or whatever. Oh, no, yeah, just to be 1,000,000% clear. Again, this is, like, when I say EDH Rec, I'm talking about, like, the tool that's just the most well-known one. I love EDH Rec. Nothing about EDH Rec in specific. Just that style of deck building in Commander. And the funny thing is, and here's where it might be hypocritical. Do you think that Goldfish makes deck building worse for 60-card formats? Or pick whatever deck building site you use, that shows the metagame and shows deck lists. And I think I've definitely heard people argue yes. And I think to some extent, like, what's the difference though? What's the difference between looking up a 60-card deck on Goldfish and looking up a Commander deck on EDH Rec? Like, I know, isn't it? That's where I think there could be a little hypocrisy or something where like, the only difference I could really see is the argument that, well, what makes it different is that Commander is a casual format. But even that, I'm still kind of like, I don't know if I buy that. 60-card formats aren't a format based on people deliberately playing suboptimal cards. That is a very good way to play that, Halflings. I think that's what I was trying to say earlier about Commander. That part of the fun is Commander is you can play suboptimal cards. And that doesn't fly as much in 60-card formats. Tools like EDH Rec and Goldfish make those formats, playing those formats at a high level more accessible to new players and weak deck brewers. I think that's true. Magic as a whole is about winning. I've been doing it wrong all this time. I would actually argue that, that's a good one. Magic isn't about winning. How about that for a hot take? Magic, actually, winning is overrated. Winning's overrated. And if you're playing Magic to win, you're doing it wrong. I mean, we're not winning with this deck. Well, we win on occasion with this deck. Now that we have 2 Corey Steel Cutters, we're probably winning. I actually think that Magic is a great way to learn to lose. And I think that Commander is also a great format to learn to lose in, because you're playing against 3 opponents. So just mathematically, you're going to lose most games, right? Even if you're a good Commander player, you're going to lose more games than you win because you have a lot of opponents you're competing against. That's kind of how I've always treated a basic Boros. Like, for me, well, even 60-card formats, it's not just about winning. I want to win in 60-card formats, but I want to win in my way, if that makes sense. When I win doing what everyone else is doing, to me, that doesn't feel the same as winning when I'm doing my own thing, which I know is, from a competitive perspective, the absolute worst way to build decks. Like, you will do better if you don't treat it that way. Let's play land. I think we equip. Let's equip up the cutter. Or equip up the, oh, it falls off. That's awkward. Okay. Yes, knock the cutter off. Crack the map. Mill the Rubon. Crack the map. Mill the Rubon. Hit ya with the cutter and the prowess token that has protection from red. Like this otter, for example. Hey, we had someone with a sword in standard. We actually did it. I played to have a good time. I played with Seth in Vegas, and we got stomped by Green Lands decks, but it was a blast. That's when you know you're having fun playing Magic. When you can sit down to a game of Magic and get absolutely crushed, but still have a great time. That is what makes Magic so wonderful. How do you get through the control matchups? Are we talking about this deck in specific? I don't know. I'm still not sure if this deck gets through any matchups. This deck, it might be a little bit memey. We will see. But I guess the answer is Corey Steel Cutter is kind of busted. That would be my best answer, is that Cutter's a busted card. Hot take. Proxying for Commander is great. Well, at least it wasn't an Ultima. Proxying for Commander is great. But a lot of people do it for the wrong reasons. If your meta is based on a specific budget, and you can play Mishra's Workshop and Rhystic Study, but should really be proxying lands and other glue pieces. I think that's true. I think that, I don't even know if this is a hot take, but letting your playgroup end up in an arms race because of proxying actually is going to make your experience worse rather than better, if that makes sense. What's the equivalent of an EDH rec standard tool? That's a good question. Is there an equivalent? Let's play the Hulbrid. I think part of what makes EDH rec work is kind of the casual nature of people just uploading all of their personal Commander decks. I think that's part of what actually makes it work. And I mean, like, you can see the metagame on Goldfish and other places, but for standard or modern or whatever, but it's not the same. Like, you don't have as many deck lists, and it doesn't have the same breakdown. Yeah, I mean, Goldfish is similar, but you don't have, like, the thing that would be cool. And maybe we need to figure out a way to add this sometime. But it would be really neat if you could go to, like, an Omniscience deck and, like, maybe this part of the website could be expanded out. Like, it would be really sweet if you could go to Omniscience and then we go back through, like, the last year's worth of decks. And you'd be like, oh, like, you know, 2% of the time this card showed up, 3%. So I guess this actually is very, very similar. It's just not as many cards as EDH rec. So maybe that's something we can add in the future. I'll get in, hit ya. Let's put the sword on the dork. Make it fall off. This pro red sword's so funny. It's just constantly knocking our equipment off of our creatures. Found it. Gonna do some stocking up. Oh, you know what card that we didn't talk about when it was about bannings? But I would say, oh, you can mention whoever you want, Celis. It's not going to offend me. Wait, what was I talking about? Now I forgot what we were talking about. Distracted. Found it. Another storm. Oh, bannings. The card that we didn't talk about with bannings. I mean, I don't even know if this is a hot take either, but Commander shouldn't have soul rigs. The card that we didn't talk about is Stock Up. That's also on my list of cards that I think could be banned. And the reason's super simple. Wizards did a stream like a month ago, their banning stream, talking about not banning stuff last time. And they said, well, what does it take to get a card emergency banned? And the one thing they shouted out was, well, if a card gets to like 50% of the meta, then it's, that's part of our criteria for banning it or whatever. And right now, Stock Up is in 54% of decks. I know that Stock Up doesn't feel egregious in the same way that, like, Corey Steelcutter, and you just get run over and die, or, Monstrous Rage, you're dead on turn 3. But just going by Wizards criteria, I think there's some chance that Stock Up could end up being banned. I'm not saying that it will, but I'm saying I think that just based on the metagame percentage, I think it's possible. Come on, Gilgamesh. Oh my god, Gilgamesh. Oh, good, Samurai. Okay. 3 equipment. Get him into play. Sadly, Gilgamesh does not currently have haste. So we can choose one of the equipment. Do we have a Samurai? Rebel? Monk? We do not. Well, okay. Double strike up the Samurai. Go to combat. Here comes the dorks. Hit ya. About it. Are we dead? Do we break it with Gilgamesh? I think a pretty fun short would be cards that are popular in EDH Rec, but are actually terrible in decks that they're in. See this Reddit post, for example. Oh. Yes, we had, what was the good one? We played a Commander Clash. We played a Commander Clash where Phil played, he played Arcane Signet in a colorless deck. And technically, Arcane Signet does quite literally nothing in a colorless deck. We got to use the chainsaw, or we're going to lose the chainsaw. Plus, we get to trigger some Corey Steel Cutters, because that card's kind of absurd. Do a little cut-in. But if you look on colorless decks at EDH Rec, you will see that people actually play Arcane Signet in their colorless decks. It's basically, I can't say much because I have definitely, my biggest mistake like that is when I play multicolor decks, I play a lot of fetch lands usually, and I have accidentally like put a Bloodstained Mire in a Bant deck or whatever where I can't actually even cast it. That's a thing that's happened. Well, we're just gonna attack. Don't etherize us. Just die. Just die, Jeskai. Just die. Gilgamesh. Trigger. Wow, triggers on attack too. Gilgamesh actually kind of popping off here. All right, another cutter, another horror bread. Hit ya. I mean, it's got to be game, right? About it. Would we like to die? I mean, they're only at 4. How are they getting out of this huge attack? They only got 3 cards in hand. Jeskai Revelation. Okay. Well, not dead yet. Actually, they might still. Are they still dead? They might still be dead. Hey, Seth, do you think banning Rage and Slick Shot would knock prowess off the top of the meta, or does the ban have to be Cutter? I just don't see the upside of keeping Cutter if you're trying to ban to stop prowess. Like, So I think Monstrous Rage, I'm skeptical that just Monstrous Rage is enough. I'm skeptical of that just because Monstrous Rage is banned in Alchemy and Prowess is still like the best deck in the format. So I'm skeptical that that would be enough. Slick Shot Show Off would help. That does make the deck much less explosive. Although we've seen decks recently, like there are builds of essentially the Cutter deck. They don't even play Slick Shot and go more like controlling and spell based and just use Cutter as their win con or primarily Cutter as their win con. So I think if you feel like you need to deal with Prowess, you pretty much have to ban Cutter. I think you also have to ban Monstrous Rage just for other reasons, for mouse reasons, along with Prowess reasons. But yeah, I'm having a hard time. If you think that Prowess is a problem, I have a hard time seeing how they deal with that without banning Cutter. And I also don't really see, like, I don't know. Is there anyone that really loves Cutter? Is there anyone that's just like, oh, such a fun card to play with? You know, whatever. Like, I can't wait to, you know, GM my next game with Corey Steelcutter. I mean, actually, maybe Richard. Richard's a dirty Prowess player. So I'm sure there are dozens of you out there. But I don't know if Corey Steelcutter has, like... Oh, okay. Maybe Corey Steelcutter does have a big following. I was thinking that people wouldn't really care. Opponent goes down to 2. Get some triggers. Sword. We get a Furion. And a Mountain. And Rebel Salvo. We haven't triggered our Cutters, right? Okay, yeah. Sure. We will make more. Kill the token. Trigger the Cutters. Oh, man. If we could Furion... If we can Gilgamesh with Furion out... Oh, things could happen. Things could happen. Opponent's down to 2. Control player. Do you have another Wrath? I feel like Cutter shouldn't be banned. You try to bring new people into Standard, banning the main card that creates a whole deck would throw them out of the format. Targeting Rage and maybe stock up or tools around it would be better. My concern with that, I would say, Bill Y, is just like... We see how good Cutter is all the way back to Legacy now. So I think that's... It's hard for me to imagine that a card that's immediately was printed and made tier 1 decks in Pioneer and Modern and Standard and also shows up in Legacy. It's hard for me to imagine that you can control the power of that card with other aspects of the card pool. Like, I don't know if you can ban enough stuff around it in Standard to make a card that's that good in every format, like fair. So that would be my worry there. But I think the point of people don't like cards being banned, like that is true. I think Wizards would agree with that. Wizards really does not like banning things. Well, that's Gilgamesh. We need enough damage that even if they just got Revelation, they still die. And I think we might be getting there, especially if we can put some Gilgamesh cards into play with this Furion out. It's going to be kind of sweet. Drafted a Zodikar into Temur deck. Is it worth playing or should I cut it? Moist Outlet, what's your mana base look like? Zodorik's that's the like god one, right? Let me double check that I'm talking about the same card. Is that the god one that's 5 black mana? So, yes. Okay, so I would just say it can be a powerful card. Can you cast it? If your mana base is something like 9 swamps, 8 islands, just mathematically, you're not going to draw enough swamps to cast it in a wow, an opponent scoops it up. You're not going to draw enough swamps to cast it in a reasonable amount of time. If you can somehow have your mana base be like 13 swamps and 4 islands and still make the mana work, then you're kind of in the business, or if you have other fixing. So I think it's good enough to play. Can you cast it? It's the only question. Yes, you can always post deck list links. Also here, Seth, inspired by this deck, it's a fond memory of the old Nahiri equipments. Ooh, Cloud's Weaponry. I also have a Boros Cloud deck. I haven't got to play it yet, but it's on my list. This is similar to what what I was messing around. I didn't have Nahiri, though. Genju Gloves, Leyline Axe, Sword of Fortune in Frontier, Hullbirder. I mean, the Furion deck didn't seem that bad. I do think Chainsaw is pretty good. I feel like you need more, like, you want equipments. The cards that impressed me very much in this equipment deck were actually Chainsaw and Rebel Salvo. Rebel Salvo in an equipment deck's really sweet. Yeah, that looks sweet. I like it. What do you think is the more fun build around Legendary from the new set, Seth? Ultima or Van? Blade Counter guy or, yeah, I imagine that's going to be a matter of personal taste, if that makes sense. Like, I would be more excited probably to build around Ultima, but I worry that Ultima might kind of just be like a boring color. Like, how do you build an Ultima deck? You're probably going to end up being like, I'm a colorless deck. I got Ultima to double my mana. I ramp into Big Eldrazi. So then you're just kind of every other colorless deck. I like that Van is more unique. That part intrigues me. But then Van reminds me of the party mechanic, which was hard to build around in the past. So I think personally I'd go Ultima, but it really depends on your personal preference, I would say. Love seeing Richard back on Clash. Yeah, he's filling in. He's filling in. We got people with Vegas and then Crim's traveling and stuff. So you're going to see Richard, I don't know, 2 or 3 episodes coming up where he's filling in for people. So he's not completely gone. He's not completely gone. Anyway, everyone, I think that brings us to the end of our release day stream. So what do we learn today? So we played Yashola Blink, and Yashola Blink's felt fun. I think the big takeaway from this deck is Angus Scientia. I like to meme on the sandwich thing, but the card was actually really good. Like, it's a ramp spell, and the Graveyard Hate was good. And then Yashola, we actually had some sweet kills, like Blinking Overlord of the Boiler Biggles with a double end step. So I like the idea of this deck. I'm going to have to keep tuning it up a little bit, but I think it has potential. And then Mono Red Equipment. Is Mono Red Equipment better than being Boros or being Azorius or like some 2-3 color pile? Maybe not, but I think we got to see the good and bad of the archetype. The bad is we did have a lot of games, or some games, where we just play Ruban and it dies. So we play Furion and it dies. And then we're playing these equipment without our payoffs and we don't do anything. But then we also got to see some ridiculous games where Furion doubling up our equipment, or Gilgamesh putting a huge amount of stuff into play would just straight up win us the game. So that part was nice. So I feel like Mono Red Equipment might be like a budget equipment deck, and then the 2-3 color decks are like the non-budget versions. I think there's potential. There's definitely potential with the equipment archetype. Can you do an against odds someday with Vanillion Fangmeld? It's on my list. It's not super high at the top of the list, so it might be a little while, but I do think we'll probably get there eventually. Did you like my Norndar Commander deck I sent to you? Well, I'll have to look for it. Was it recently? It doesn't sound familiar. It might still be in my email, but I will look forward to get back to you. Anyway, everyone, reminders on the way out the door. Replay YouTube for the old streams. Normal YouTube, tons of content coming out. Lots of Final Fantasy stuff. One more shout out to our sponsor, Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can go to cardkingdom.com/mtdgoldfish. Most importantly, thanks to all of you. Y'all are amazing. I know it's release day. You could be anywhere, hanging out with anyone, and you hung out here, and I appreciate you so much. You're amazing. You're awesome. I love y'all. Have a great week. Also, one more reminder, next week, I'm traveling to Vegas for the MagicCon on Tuesday, so no stream next week. I'm streaming Monday, though, on the Ultimate Guard channel, Monday afternoon at like 2, so maybe I'll catch you then, but be good, everyone. I love y'all. If you're in Vegas, come say hi, and I will talk to you soon.